Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Michael, Destro Designs, and Viper Den We're live from Viper Den Studios this week. I'm privileged to be joined by my brother Evil Dookie from over on YouTube. I know I've been talking about him over in our online community. I know a lot of people on Instagram know who they are, know who he is. Seen him on Figure Fight Club, but he's got his own awesome channel now. If anybody that's here that enjoys watching me make the bigger dios and stuff like that, this is the only other person I know off the top of my head that's Mate Mylar makes pretty big dials to do those shots too. That dude is the best. But in terms of big, huge, detailed, heavy duty dials, I saw this gentleman here it was so nice to give us a tour of just this one thing that he had, and I was just blown away. So I was in love then, brother. That's you put the hook in me when I saw that Big Joe dial. I thought that was awesome. So everybody, welcome our dude in. How's it going, brother?
Doing good. Hope you are too. Hopefully, the
man.
chat's staying warm.
Yeah, just like we said just before you guys came on, it's where we're talking about, just like here in the comments, we're already talking about the cold. It's cold everywhere. Everybody's fucking freezing. Let's see who we got coming in already. Brother Paul Morales, what's up, my dude? You probably hold the record for first in line every week. Snow Leopard. So my dude, Snow Leopard here is I don't ever want to call them my fans. I call them my brothers, but my dude Snow Leopard comes in. He is over on the other side of the world. So where he is, it's 2:30 in the morning right now. Our dude stays up to give us a watch. So I think that's awesome. Toy Comic Displays. What's up, my dude? I think I saw you over on, was it Twitter or was that Instagram? I know I was just started following you somewhere. Big Red, my brother in the house this week in Hearthstone. It's cold this week in Hearthstone. Where are you at? What part of the country? Because it is cold, bro. It is cold. Nice. So yeah, today the temperature dropped out here. I believe when I got up, this is after the sun had been out for about 2 hours. So it was about 9:30, 10 o'clock when I looked at the weather, and it was 3 degrees, feels like negative 15, which is just crazy to think about. And yes, it's as brutal as that sounds. It's the kind of cold when I step outside and I'm just running so this studio, I'm downstairs. I'm in the basement of my house, right? My shop with all my contracting stuff, all my tools and everything is out in the back. So if I need to go out there for something, it's just far enough. Now, I don't want to complain. I'm very blessed to have all this shit. But dude, that wind that comes ripping across my backyard, and it, like, when I'm trying to fumble with the key to get into the shop, dude, that wind is going through like my sweatpants because I just ran out here to grab a drill or a couple screws or something. It is brutal, to say the least. Like, it just goes, I don't know how to explain it. I feel it hitting my legs, and even though I'm cold, I'm also getting hot at the same time and angry. Like, why do I have to live where the air hurts? The air is hurting my leg just because I'm trying to get in the shop. So, my brother here is a little smarter. He's a little bit. Dude, all you guys down in North Carolina are super creative with this stuff. You'll hear me talk about two dudes, Chris from Sister the Arsenal, who I know you've gotten some of his stuff, I believe, and if you haven't heard, I'll introduce you to some stuff tonight. My brother Matt from Moe's Mine, and both of them are down there in North Carolina also. So it's like everybody that I know that does any kind of customization, 3D printing, that is super creative with the Joes. You all seem to be right in North Carolina. I don't know what it is in the water, but it's working.
Yeah, I just retired here. That was why I'm here. So I'm from back home originally, is New England, Mass area. So I'm not moving back to that snow shit.
Oh, dude, what a huge, like, right now, you would be, everything that I just described to you that's happening, it would be the exact same thing that you'll be living with. Because I'm like 45 minutes from the Massachusetts border, like right there on 90, right? I actually lived in Springfield for 3.5 years. I think it was 3.5 years. So there's a bunch of little areas that surround the actual city of Springfield. One of them is Long Meadow and East Long Meadow. That's where I moved. I met a girl here, moved over there. It didn't work out. I moved back, that sort of thing. But yeah, dude, it's the same weather. It's freezing. It's absolutely freezing. And especially once you get closer to the ocean too, and you kind of get that one particular, it's like almost from Boston down to like Providence. It's like strategically placed on the map where every storm that goes east always winds up going right through that little alleyway between Boston and Providence, right? So sometimes it arches up and goes through Maine, but it's like that little. I know people that live in Boston and Providence, and they basically say, it's like a tunnel for all that badass weather. But
that's the tunnel I lived in for 18 years before I joined the military. So I was smart.
Oh, nice.
To get the hell out of there.
Is that what you're retired from? Is the military?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service, brother. I really much appreciate it. That's a great service to our country. I really
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. Nice. So before we launch into all the other stuff, I just wanted to hit a few things real quick. So again, I mentioned this last week, but I'm going to say it again because it bears just a little bit of support. I don't know what kind of music you listen to, brother, but I like the heavy stuff, like the super heavy stuff, like heavy that normally, like you won't hear this shit on the radio, that type of heavy. And one of our brothers in the GI Joe community there, Doc Sewage, who has he's got so listen, I love that you're not on social media, but also there are some things that are great, right? Like social media is terrible. We should if it wasn't for this great community that I hit with over on Twitter, I probably wouldn't even be doing any of this. That's for real. And one of the dudes that loves to post over there, or he posts on Twitter. I don't want to say he's in something that he's not affiliated with. He posts on Twitter and he does this amazing thing where he's first of all, he appears to have every 3 3/4 GI Joe and some in multiples, right? So every day he posts a new 3 3/4 figure, but there's always a bunch of other things, and there's a diorama, and he just highlights and gives like a blank out of 10 rating for all of these figures. And it's absolutely awesome. So every day we get this whole new thing. And, he travels a lot. So sometimes he'll set them up. I think it was today he was to Australia, Japan. It's just crazy, right? It's just a really amazing way to kind of post Joes every day. And I really appreciate it. Well, the same dude actually plays Torch in Cold Slither, right? If you know how they have that band,
Yeah.
the live band that actually played a couple shows
Yep.
to like support the toys. He's the guy that actually plays Torch. I probably should have said that first. You would have known a lot. And anyway, he also plays in a couple super like death metal bands that are very. We want to call it death metal because I don't know how he categorizes it, but that's probably what you would best know it as. Anyway, he's in this band Exhumed, and they just came out with a new album, and I've only heard the 2 songs. I don't know why I haven't actually gone over and bought it yet, but they've like released 2 songs that have videos, and both of the songs absolutely rip. It's some of the best music I've heard in a while. So even if you just wanted to, you or anybody watching just wanted to support our boy Doc Sewage and all that awesomeness that he has going on, you can go. I know that they have, man, I should have looked. I think that they had actual albums. You can buy physical copies of it and all that kind of shit. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there again one more time. And so let me ask you this, my brother. Do you fuck with the comics? Do you read the Joe comics?
I read a little bit of comics as a kid growing up, like random stuff, from the freaking spinner racks and the damn pharmacy stores and shit. But I recently got the compendiums 1 and 2,
Okay.
and as soon as I saw that Larry Hama was doing the comics, when I started collecting Joe again, as soon as I saw the
Okay.
stuff that started coming out, I started picking them up. So I haven't read really any of the stuff other than Compendium 1, and I'm kind of going through it just slow. But I do it with my son. So
Perfect.
we read
I
all
love
the
it.
like the knockoffs, like Scarlet 1 through 5. What were the other ones? Destro, all the 1 through 5 series. We read those first, and we started on the compendium.
Oh, dude. So what an amazing thing. I just recently got the compendiums. I think they came in the mail a week ago. Swear to God. But it's I wanted one thing I wanted to mention is I've had a couple people go out of their way to try to get me into the comics, right? First, my brother Conrad sent me the number one, very first G.I. Joe the comic that they made. He sent me the very first one. He's like, dude, start here and then work your way up. And I was like, yes, I
Yeah.
definitely got to do this. And he sent me some other comics too. And then I have a couple more. So I was like, okay, but going and buying every individual thing is a slow way to catch up on the comics, right? I was like, maybe I should. And then on I saw on Amazon they were like $32 a piece. I was like, okay, I absolutely have to get these. But just to mention too, my boy Chuckin' and Truckin' had like downloaded them on this very easy thing that I could have had it on my phone to read, but like for whatever reason I never did it, right? But I bless him for the effort. And my boy Stevie Z sent me a hard drive that had like all of them on there. But like if I'm getting into bed, which is the only time I ever have to read anything, like I'm not gonna grab the laptop and stick the thing in, right? It seemed like whatever. And then so thankfully I got that. But just today I received It has been a blessed like 6 weeks, my brother. I've had some of my people send me the most amazing gifts. I'll show you a few things later when we get into that. We have a really amazing community, and so my brother Evan, the architect, who was on the show 2 weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, somewhere in there, very recently, and was excellent. He was the first person to break the 4 hour club, and so he sent me what I think looks like the like it's all the some of the IDW series, but it's like
Nice.
the super coolest one. So I was totally unaware of like whatever is going on in these comics, and it's become a thing that everybody's talking about because they're coming out with that cartoon soon, the GI Joe Transformers cartoon, right? And that is going to be on the Energon series, so that's going to be based on like all of this series of comics, but it's also going to be directed by the guy who did Invincible, that show Invincible with the Omni Man, the superhero guy. That was so really awesome. But I'm just going to show these covers real quick because they're absolutely sick. Now, in this series, the Baroness is a Joe, which I'm sure at some point it's going to change. But I think that's kind of weird. Mercer is still a Cobra, right? But everything else on this cover is awesome. I love that they got Scrap Iron front and center. He's one of my favorite characters and figures, and like I feel like he should be used a lot more. He's like a crazy person. He's totally awesome, like perfect for the comic. But I don't know. He told me in a text message today what order they went through. Here, I'll save these two for last. I think that is an awesome cover.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
a real
that.
good cover.
Absolutely. And what I like when I hear of the things that I hear about this series is that Cobra Commander is more of a formidable Cobra Commander and not so much the frequent displays of cowardice that we're always talking about in the actual Sunbow cartoon. I can't wait to read this one because it looks super badass. That's a crazy version of, is that Duke? I think they got that
was a
being
good
Duke.
one.
Oh, did you read this one?
Yeah, I read like I said, I read Duke, Scarlet, Destro, Cobra Commander.
Okay, so awesome. Then that's this one too. You got into that one.
Yep.
Yeah, really awesome. That cover is amazing. I as soon as I saw that, I almost dropped the pile. But now, as much as I love Destro, like my favorite figure character is probably Beachhead. So when I just, because again, I didn't know these were coming. He just told me to watch out that there was a package, and I was like, okay, perfect. So I open these up and I see it here, and dude, I was like, wow, what the fuck? So I love me some Beachhead. He's when I have to, if I have to pick like my favorite, like if somebody's like, who's your favorite character figures? I always say Beachhead one, and tied for second is Alley Viper and Shockwave. Now they're really almost all tied for first. It's just that Beachhead had a character, a robust character from the cartoon to the comics, and he was awesome. So I always have to give him an edge. But I love Alley Viper and Shockwave just as much. So my dude Evan, thank you so much for hooking me up with these. I cannot thank you enough. It was incredibly thoughtful, incredibly generous. And you had even said, I think when we were on the show, we were like, yeah, I'm going to send you something, and I forgot. And then you, even when you were like, yeah, let me get your address, I gave you the address, and then I like forgot it was coming. And then when you hit me up yesterday, and he was like, yeah, keep your eye out. Was it yesterday or the day before? Anyway, they're here now. I absolutely love it, and I think that's fantastic. So just wanted to hit up those few things here. And I try to make notes throughout the week when I remember like something to talk about on the show, but I always forget to write it down. Something will pop in my head. I'll be up on the ladder doing something, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta shit. Let me just wire this together. But dude, my mind jumps from thing to thing. So if I have to remember something to write down after I get off this ladder and after I'm done doing what I'm doing, it's never gonna get written down. And so randomly when we're in the show, what's that?
I keep a running tab on my phone of like notes. I have to do that.
So I do that is the number one. Now so I'm more of a paper guy, but the problem is you just don't carry around the big organizer anymore. So I do have a notes app that I have found to be incredibly helpful for posting stuff too. Like if there's stuff that like when I do the promotion for the show, it's just a basic template that I keep saved on the notes app, right? And then I could just copy paste it when I go to make the promos and stuff. So that really helps too.
Yeah.
My brother Pop Cole Frenzy in the house, man, they're doing Cobra Silent issues coming up. Those are going to be badass. Yes. So I did hear about that. That sounds pretty awesome. Actually, I do believe Chris from the Full Force was talking about those today, and people were throwing out ideas about how that might go down, and that somebody had mentioned something like, oh, they should do a Cobra version of like the silent issue, like the opposite of the number 21 from Snake Eyes. And I don't know, that sounded like a great idea. But yeah, so now that I have these IDW comics, I'm gonna have to really just stay up on it because, dude, I mean, how awesome do they look?
Yeah, it looked real good. Like I said, I started reading them with my kids, so there
Perfect.
was one part he got a little bit afraid of. He's only 7, so some of the gory stuff, but
I was
he still
I
likes
was just gonna ask how old he was. Okay, 7. Oh, I mean, that's just about old enough to start to, understand. Hey, this isn't real. It's a comic. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Nice, very good. Yeah, I think I was definitely heavy duty into GI Joe at 7. I think I think I was 5, or no, I was 4 when I first saw GI Joe. I think I was, or well, 4, almost 5. When I first saw when that Destro came out, and I saw that Destro in the KB toys at Latham Mall. I remember that being like, look at that thing. It just looked so detailed, right? Like, because I before before GI Joes, it was in my memory the only toy I think I liked was He-Man. So the He-Man was fine, but these were like bulky kind of. They didn't come with like a lot of accessories, and it was like fine. But as soon as I saw GI Joe, it was like bang. I didn't give a shit about anything else, right? Well, to a certain extent, I always thought Voltron was kind of cool. There's a bunch of other shit that you could probably mention from that time that I thought was cool. But when I was going to the store to spend my like allowance money, or somebody was going to buy me something, it was fucking get me some Joes for sure. Uh, so when you were young, what was your jam? Did you get down with Joes when you were young too?
Yeah, I mean, I always had Legos and Hot Wheels as a kid, but I got my first Joes in actually it was the first year. My
Nice.
mom specifically remembered that it was the day I got myself in the newspaper. I was at McDonald's and the old damn Hamburglar thing and stuff,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they took a picture of me there, and my grandmother had went, and showed my mom or told my mom, hey, he was just taken for the newspaper because my mom worked at Kmart at the time, and I was with my grandmother because she always watched me, and my mom had gotten paid that day, so I got to pick out, 2 toys. My mom got me one, and my grandmother got me one, and the first 2 toys I got was the Cobra Trooper and Snake Eyes.
Nice. Nice. Those are great pickups, man. Iconic
Yeah,
shit right there, for real.
and
I
I wish I still had them, but not anymore.
Yeah, dude, I actually had a lot of my stuff escaped my youth and stayed with me into my 20s. And one move, I was wild in my 20s. One move that I made, I left a big box and a rack of clothes. So I literally lost almost 95% of my Joes and a bunch of like my sports jerseys, like my baseball jerseys, my football jerseys. I left them in this closet of an apartment. And when I went back like a week later, whoever had moved in, they were like, yeah, we threw all that shit out, dude. I was like, no. So I'm not still harboring anger over that or anything. So don't worry. I've moved on. I've moved on. But it was, yeah, I had my Havoc. Um, I mean, I couldn't remember exactly, but I know it was probably like 30 figures with, say, most of the accessories, right? They were all like in relatively good condition. Now, somehow, some way, I wound up with what made me, when I moved into the new place, what made me look for those Joes was I came across a small bag that had like 6 accessory list figures. It was like Thrasher, Torch, um, Repeater, Psych Out, and somebody else, right? And I was like, oh, here's these. Where's the rest? And then I went looking for the box. Box wasn't there, and I was like, holy shit, I must have left that stuff there. So anyway, but I do have 5 of those figures, and dude, I wish I had all that shit back, dude. That would really be awesome. I've since
Oh
gone
yeah,
and
me
bought.
too.
I mean, how awesome would that be, right? Um, I've since gone and so I buy like pretty much classified only, right? That's very. If I bought like maybe a couple of the Indiana Jones figures to use as like background civilian type whatever,
Yeah,
but I was
filler.
basically buying just classifieds. Until one day I saw, what was the first one I got? I think it was, might have been Mainframe. I saw Mainframe for like $8 on eBay, and I was like, $8. let me get that little mainframe. So I bought, he was one of my favorites. So I got him, and then it turned into, I got Shockwave. Somebody sent me an Alley Viper. And so I don't have a lot. I've got like, I think 8 or 9 of the, I got scrap iron, salvo, all the ones that I really, really loved, right? In my memory, when I think back, the ones that pop in my mind are those ones right there. And so every time I would find one that I liked that was like $25 or less, and it was complete or like mostly complete, I would just pick it up. And they do kind of just sit in a bag up there, which is unfortunate, but I am still like in the process of trying to figure out how I'm going to set this up. So just a quick little bit of background. I only started collecting again just last December when I saw the alley, but keeps coming up. But I saw this on Amazon, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy that. That looks cool. And I also was like, ooh, I wonder if they have a Destro. So I got the Destro. And while the Destro is cool, it wasn't as cool as when I opened that Alley Viper. And immediately I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to wind up having to get a bunch of these. And it all started with wanting to take a picture of Alley Viper and Shockwave, you know, just like facing each other in an alley. I was like, I'll just make a little diorama of an alley. I'll take a picture of these two guys. That'll be it. That's all I'm going to do. And now here I am a year later with quite a few figures and just a
You
bunch
know
of
what
this
Destro
shit.
you got?
It's so unfortunately that is the only Destro I have. I have not gotten the Mezco Destro yet. I just have
Destro though. There's 2 different Destros. Did you know that?
Oh yeah. Then where is it? This one right here.
No, I'm not saying the silver. I'm not saying silver and gold head. There's 2 silver heads.
In the classified line.
Yep, there's variants. Like the first 6 figures were variants. I've got all of them. The only one I'm missing for a variant is there are 3 different Cobra number 12s.
Oh, okay. Was there really?
A blue collar. Yeah, there's a blue collar black shirt, a blue collar blue crotch. There's a black collar blue crotch, and there's a black collar black crotch.
No shit. Huh.
Yep.
I'll have to...
Destro, yours will either have a ring on his head or will not have a ring on his head. If you look dead center of the forehead, he's got a circle or doesn't. There's 2 different variants.
Huh. Well, I definitely don't think I have that circle. That looks pretty clean.
Obvious.
Yeah. No, brother, you're dropping a bunch of knowledge on me right now. I didn't know that there was that many variants of the Destro.
Snake Eyes too.
Really?
Which one? Got red dots on. Yep. Red dots. Doesn't have red dots.
No
of course,
shit.
You got 2 Dukes. You got gold shin, silver shin. You got 2 different Scarlets. There's 2 different roadblocks. A lot of people don't know that. I started. My cousin passed. I started that December. It was December of, what are we in, 26? So December of 23. Yeah, December 23. Okay. So I was a little bit late. And when I went hard. And I was trying to find stuff back and forth. And I just somehow stumbled across a video of variants. I was like, oh, no shit. So let me write this down. So I wrote it down, and I searched and searched. I've gotten them all except for that one Cobra Trooper.
No shit. Yeah, I didn't know there was that many variants. I love that number 12. That number 12 Trooper it's like perfect way. There's, you know, I don't know. There's some things that, you know, I'm sure people could pull apart, but it's like I have a hard time disliking any of them. You know what I mean? Like you put any of those figures in front of me and I'll be like, there's parts of it that are good, you know. I don't know. But yeah, dude, I saw the Alley Viper and the Destro, and I was like, man, you know what? Now I got to get a Shockwave. I got a Shockwave. And then I honestly don't remember where it went after that because I just started buying a ton of shit. I got real lucky a couple times though. I got like I had gotten a lot off of eBay where I had gotten like 50 figures for a very cheap price. There was another time I got 15 of those Python Patrol Vipers for $150. Who says no to that, right? So I've been lucky to hit shit like that to wind up with all the extra figures. But yeah, dude, it all started with wanting to just take different pictures and make dios and it's like, you know, so I'm a contractor. So my shop is full of a bunch of stuff. I could make anything I wanted to, given, you know, the fucking time to do it. And I was like, all right, I think I want to mess around with this. And I did. The first one that I built that was like of size really was down here. I had built it's basically a sheet of plywood. It's 4 foot by 8 foot. and it went up like 4 feet high. And I cut a section out on the one side, and I used concrete to make like a riverbed. And I just had a little pump, like a pond pump, just circulating the water, so it looked like the river was running to a certain degree. And that was awesome. After that, I knew I wanted to make shit like that because it was fun. It was all I kept thinking about was like, yo, if I had access to this stuff when I was a kid, this is exactly what I would do. I would make this big thing and put
Yep.
all these GI Joes on here, and that's what it was. Now I learned a lot from that. Number one, I have to find a much different, a better way to do. Well, all right. So what I used the concrete on, I used a lot. It was like 3 bags, 80-pound bags. So you put that together and you add some water. It's a heavy fucking piece. I thought I was going to be able to kind of cut around it and then take it and carry it outside to reuse. Dude, it was not happening. My old
No.
ass was not picking that up. It was not happening. So I had to use a little jackhammer to break it apart. And my wife was like, what do you do? Do you see what you're doing? I was like, yeah, no, I'm aware. This was fun. I saw it. I had to break it apart a little bit, but it was fine. The basement wasn't finished on that side yet. I've since remodeled it. It's all new walls and floors and the whole thing. So, but yeah, at the time that was fun. That's what had put the hook in me. When did you say you started collecting classifieds?
I want to say it was December of 23 when my cousin passed.
Okay, nice.
I did
so
it as
yeah,
a
you
memory to him, so I didn't want to forget his memory. And in my head canon, I'm like, well, him and our things were GI Joes. So every figure that I figured would trigger a new memory for him. I've gone through a lot of concussions and stuff, been blown up, shot at, stuff like that in the military. So I was worried about Alzheimer's and stuff in the future.
Okay. So I think that's pretty awesome. And I don't know if I ask a lot of people these questions about, what got you into classified. And I don't know if there's anything that, that hits in the chest quite like that. I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, you're going to, God forbid something happens down the road. That shit's going to be so ingrained into your mind, if you just keep doing what you're doing. I think I haven't heard. That sounds like a great reason. Me personally, I always used to kind of joke around with most people that we're just all going through a midlife crisis playing with these fucking toys. But no, you start talking to people, and it's more than that. It's
a
not
coping
just
mechanism.
Like yes,
really,
100%, for sure. But I feel like what makes it so special is that like it's all such a part of our childhood. It's all connected to this shit goes so deep into us, right? Because those formative years, like of me being like when I was in the heart of my where I became like obsessed with GI Joe, was right around the time that my parents got divorced. I went through some traumatic shit then, so like it's fucking.
That was your outlet.
Exactly. And then so now mercifully and thankfully, my parents were divorced for a few years. They got back together. Happy ending. Everything was fine. My dad is we didn't get along for a long time, but now he's like one of my best friends, if not my best friend. But it just so like I can remember leaving and having like all my Joes in my backpack and like the Havoc sticking out right here. So when I see the Havoc, it immediately goes and it touches something, even though I'm not consciously thinking about it. It's just something that makes it just makes the whole thing. I think that's why it's so. Man, I'm really at a loss for words of how to describe it. It's really what makes it such a deep passion for it. You know what I mean? Is that I think we all have something connected to it. So I appreciate you sharing that, brother. That's pretty awesome. And we all collect in the honor of your cousin too. That's fucking sweet. What a great story. So what was the first one that you saw? So was he collecting classifieds also?
No, he actually passed unexpectedly. And I went up to see him. His wife had some medical issues going on. He called me and I was like, dude, she'll be all right. And then I get a phone call from him and I missed the phone call. I was at work and I meant to call him back. And when I did, I found out he was in the hospital. So it went from his wife being sick to now he's sick. So, and this was like Thanksgiving time. So I flew up there, come back after 4 days of being up there. He was pretty bad off, then got a little bit better. And then I come back and a couple weeks later, it's like, hey, we're pulling the plug. I was like, holy shit. And
wow,
that kid was my best friend growing up.
Wow.
So, I mean, we were with each other all the time. Yep.
Wow.
So like I said, it's kind of a memorial to him. And I was going. I got a 7-year-old, so I was running through Walmart like I always did. And, I worked for John Deere at the time, and I was coming home from work. I asked the wife, I'm like, "Hey, you need anything?" She's like, "Yeah, stop and get this and this, or whatever." So I always, as a dad with a little boy, you always run through the toy aisle real quick. And I ran
Right.
through, and it'd been like 2 months. I kept seeing GI Joes. I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. They made these again, but they're larger scale. Oh, they look more detailed." Finally, I just grabbed one, and I think it was Scrap Iron or Croc Master. I can't remember which one. And I
Oh,
pulled the thing out in the box, and my wife's like, "What are you gonna do with this?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll give it to, my son, to Cullen." She's like, "He's not gonna play with that. He's still a little too young for that." I'm like, "He'll play with it." Well, I opened it out the box, and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna start collecting these." She's like, "What are you gonna collect?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna get the Dreadnoks." Well, I didn't know there was
right.
200 something Dreadnoks. At least that's what I tell her. But,
Right. Right.
it just it just started, and it's blown up since then, and then my kid starts to playing with him. He loves them like that. The thing
Nice.
you saw, the Hawk's Nest, I gave that to him right after Christmas. So he's got that upstairs in the toy room. He uses that daily.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, dude, if I had that at his age, I would never stop fucking playing with it, dude. That thing is awesome. That is fantastic. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that it seems, that is the one, that is a kind of a common thing that a lot of people do say. It's like all they had to do was just get one. All they had to do was take one out of the box, and it was like, okay, I think I want more of these now, please and thank you. Especially, and listen, that scrap iron one is amazing. That's one of my favorite ones. Like, what I try
Yeah,
to
the head
refer to it.
sculpt, the detail,
Oh, forget it.
the head sculpt, the detail, articulation, it blew me away.
The drone upgrade, like what a perfect way to make his little missile launcher better, but without making it ridiculous. It's freaking awesome. I think it's the upgrade of that, how they were able to keep it to such the traditional look, but make it just like how it should look now. I think it's fucking amazing. I I like how they have this sort of model of having the main line where, say, you get the what's a good example, how they have the retro series and the main line. So the main line is you get something that looks a lot like the original, but it's got these subtle upgrades, right, to make it just a little bit better for the modern day. But then they'll put the same figure, like, oh, the Viper, right? That's the one I was trying to think of. So like they have
Or the
the
Cobra
Cobra
Island Trooper,
Island
and then the Retro
and the
Trooper.
three part. What's that?
The Cobra
Yeah.
Island Trooper, then the Retro Trooper.
Oh
Perfect
yeah, no, the
example.
Viper, the Viper. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, right. Well, no, those two. Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, the troop. So how they do that, I think it's absolutely perfect. Now, at first, when that retro trooper was coming out, I was like, yeah, but they made the perfect, I'm sorry, the Viper. I was like, they made the perfect Viper. The Cobra Island Viper and the three-pack Viper are just absolutely perfect. Why do we need? And then when they came out with the retro one, I was like, oh, okay, this looks exactly like the cartoon. It's just got something a little more vibrant. As an action figure, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, if I'm doing photo shoots, I prefer the three-pack, the blue three-pack Viper. That's my favorite. But at the same time, that retro Viper comes out real well in shots. So like if I'm using, like, I got the locker arsenal set up from Sis 3 Arsenal, I love the retro Viper with that. It just looks like it belongs there for whatever reason. But yeah, I like how they have that separate line. I didn't understand it at first. I just remember being like, why do they have like this weird difference in the characters? But now I seem to get it a lot too. And even the bat, how they did the retro bat, which basically was just, it's the same exact sculpt, I think. They just did the paints in a much more, the yellow is a bit more
Yeah.
vibrant and the chrome is better. And I'm just like, man, same thing. Like I think if I'm making a shoot, I prefer the old bat, the number 33, but at the same time, this fucking new one looks amazing. That chrome detail on the arms and shit is just really, really good.
That one isn't even. I chrome penned mine. It came out even better than the new
Oh,
one.
nice. Oh, dude, of
Yeah.
course you did. Of course you did. So hopefully everybody, because I've been talking about my brother coming on here for a while. I'm assuming most people that are in the comments have probably gone through and checked out your channel, and they have a pretty good idea. So, dude, where do you get like the inspiration for your customs? Like, is it just what your head canon? Is it maybe comic book? Is it cartoon? A mixture of all three?
mixture of all. How it started was everybody started getting, when I started doing it, Dreadnoks slowly started coming out. The Marvel Legend Punisher bike was fairly cheap, so I picked one up. I picked two up. One for Zartan, and I'm sitting there, just doing a little bit of paint on it. I'd never really done anything, and I was like, I kind of want to make. I see the bike, and I was like, I can make my own bike out of this. Like my actual motorcycle is sitting in front of me right now in the garage. I can do it. So I chopped the exhaust off, and I did it, and it came out, and I was like, damn, nobody has this. One, I'm the only guy on the East Coast with that motorcycle with a suicide shifter. I know that for a fact.
Oh,
because
nice.
the guy the guy I learned how to build it from talked when I was still on social media, talked me through how to do it. He said, hey, this is what I did, because I found him on Facebook. We linked up a couple times. He shot me some videos, photos. He's like, this is how I did it. I'm like, cool. It's sick. I'm going to do it. I'll send you some pics when I'm done. I bought the bike, had it sitting here. We did it. Me and my buddy did it in like 2 days. And then I was like, shit, I need to go ahead and send him photos and pictures of this thing and videos. And when I did, it took him like months to reply back. I'm like, dude, I wonder what happened. I didn't know what happened to him, Come to find out, he'd been in a bad motorcycle accident and was almost killed.
Oh my God.
So when he came out of the coma, he saw my messages and stuff. He's like, dude, that was like the best medicine I could have had. He goes, you're the only guy in the coast now, on the East Coast, with that bike. Because he was out in like Illinois or something. So
that's pretty cool.
Essentially, I saw that. I'm like, well, okay, I know I got a unique motorcycle to begin with. Now I'm going to have a unique custom motorcycle for G.I. Joe to go along with it. So I was like, let me try this YouTube thing. I was like, can't be hard. So I just kind of hit the record button. It was short and bad. I mean, I'm still not the greatest cameraman, but
no, that
didn't do too well either. But that bike is sick.
That bike is sick. So this is what I tell. Just real quick, we got some more people coming in. Pop Cult Frenzy in the house. Roadblock is here. My brother, Matt from Moe's Mine just came through. Welcome. Pop Cult Frenzy says he got bit basically the same way. He's walking through Target one day and they had wave one on the pegs. Game over, man. Game over. Ain't that the truth, bro? Ain't that the truth? Yeah, dude. That's basically, I like to write. I was published a couple times when I was younger, when I thought I was going to be the next Hunter S. Thompson. And I've been trying to maybe get back around to it. If I could squeeze some time in to write, I'm really trying to write some G.I. Joe stuff that I think if I sit down, put my head to it, I could really knock some cool shit out. But I was given advice one time, and I was asking a guy about writing and like what's the best way to get better at it. And what he told me was, he's like, just fucking do it. He's like, because I was saying something along the lines of like, well, I'm trying to like think of this idea of how I want the framework to be so I can then head in with a direction. He was like, stop. You don't need any of that shit. Just take the piece of paper, take the pen, and just start fucking writing. That's all you got to do. And you know what? There's so many things. And he was like, I was like, that sounds a lot like I could just do that with everything in my life. And he was like, now you have it. Now you see it. Just start doing it. So when I'm a contractor, I can do everything. I could build an entire house, literally put everything on it, in it, the electrical, the plumbing, the roofing, the siding, the custom trim work, the boiler, the hot water. Like I could do all that shit, right? And all of that I got to know how to do because I just started doing it. I would literally I was lucky enough to know a plumber, an electrician, and a guy who knew security systems. And I just said, I'll work for cheap, but you got to show me what you're doing, right? And I was lucky enough to find some great guys who showed me how to do that. But ultimately doing it for myself, working for myself, it was just having the faith to get out there and do it. So I love that, basically how you just described, like your first YouTube videos, you just hit play, you started doing it, and that was it. I try heavily to encourage all of my brethren on all social media, but especially in the Twitter crew, to just start taking pictures of your figures, right? A lot of people have expressed things like, I don't have any dioramas or I don't have place. And I try to point out to them that you don't. Yeah, right. You can definitely make any they even make a lot of dollhouse stuff right now. Like that you can get like that foam board from Home Depot, cut that shit, and then just get some of that dollhouse wallpaper or something and just boop, hit that shit up, you glue it on there. Now you have a wall. And even if you just
My
have
action
one
figure
wall.
backdrop is literally that. It is foam board with freaking wallpaper and
Exactly.
styrofoam. There's
As a
nothing.
as a matter of fact, I'm gonna make myself a few of those. So one thing that I'm realizing is that I want to put out shots, maybe not on the daily, but at least every other day, right? And there's no reason that I can't do that if I had somewhere that I could just walk up and set my figures. So number one, I did have a challenge where a lot of the stuff that I want to shoot is still in the package. Like, bro, I have 8 of my 14 Crimson Alley Vipers are still in the box. I'm looking at them right there. And if I want to do that shoot, I first have to open them motherfuckers. And again, not to complain about a blessing, but as you know, if you're trying to open 8 packages of shit, that's going to take me probably a half hour to get it all open, bagged separately or shit like, to maybe a half hour is a long time, but you get the point. So what I wanted to do was just how we were saying was make a couple different backdrops that I can drop in and look, nice and easy. That I can just put stuff right in there. Put up 2 figures real quick in a background, take a shot, and then boom. I run it through Lightroom to make everything look a little vibrant and stuff like that. I actually just learned how to get a wire out, so now I can hang stuff and take the wire out, and it actually looks pretty reasonable. I can't complain about that. Okay. So Popco Frenzy is asking everybody in the chat, have you all seen Dookie's police stinger with working lights? It's sick. It is sick. You want to talk about that, brother? How'd you get down on that?
You want to see it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Pop, you're right. Make it easy to do, and you'll do it more often. 100%. That's exactly what it is, Pop. But I also want to do it, and I'm going to make videos to show my brethren. Ooh, look at that thing. God damn.
So I got this thing for $38. I was again running through Walmart one day, and I walked by, and I've actually got the display stand where we're at. So the stand was up there, and I saw the box in the bottom, and it said $38. I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way in hell this thing is $38. Well, I
Right,
looked, and the
right,
stinger driver was upside down. I'm like, oh, the box is open, $38. I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna take a chance. Hopefully the car's in here because that's really the only thing I care about.
right,
So I
right.
brought it home. And I was like, well, I only spent $38. I had an extra brush guard from Gridiron laying around.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? I want to make a police vehicle. I think at the time I had 6 or 8 police figures. I was like, they at least need to have a car for the Dreadnoks to go against and stuff. So I went ahead and did it, and turn the light on.
Wow. Dude, that looks so good.
I painted the interior a little bit. Nothing really major, special. And then I wired the lights in the front and the back. And then on top of that, when I put the video out, I specifically said it's not AI. And everybody's like, oh, that's AI shit. I'm like, it's not AI.
It's not, man. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Dude, those lights look killer.
And I did that, and that kind of started a whole friggin' nut roll of custom vehicles and custom figures. So, I mean, I've been doing custom figures. Like, one of the custom figures I did, I happened to see this head on, I don't remember I think it was Jay's Armory. But that is one of the logos from the Dreadnoks.
Oh, shit. Wow.
And
dude, holy hell. Bro.
That head was not painted when I got it. It was solid gray. That's the first head sculpt I tried to paint.
Wow. Dude, that looks awesome. What a killer idea, too. Holy hell. Speaking of customs, my boy Bearded Sumo in the house. What's up, brother? My brother Bearded Sumo, Jay Antonio, is giving you 5 stars in the chat on that, brother. He's a good customizer himself.
Wow. That is my Zartan. If you would pull Zartan's all his masks off in my world, that's what, and even the back. I mean, I had to paint the back stuff too.
Dude, oh my God. How long do you think that took?
I sat here probably for, I don't know, a couple nights, an hour or so at a time, and just doing it slowly. And I don't have it. I left it upstairs. I went to Joe Fest in 2024. And when
Okay.
I went there, I signed up for it. Now, one of the reasons I joined the military was Sergeant Slaughter. I saw him in the cartoon, thought he was a
Wow.
badass. I had a whole goal of I'm going to go in the military, do my 4 years. I'm going to get out and be a state trooper. That was what originally I was going to do.
Okay. Those are great fucking life goals.
23 years later, I'm still in the military, and then I finally retire. But I saw that Slaughter was going to be there. I told the wife, I said, hey, I want to go down to Joe Fest. So I made it. My mom already corrected me. My cousin passed in 2022, not 2023. So
Okay.
for 2024, I wanted to see Slaughter. I'm like, he's getting up there in age. I'd love to get his autograph on his box, and I'll give it to my son, and he can have it for when I'm gone. At least he has something from G.I. Joe of original character that's real life that he can see on TV, because I'm also a big wrestling fan.
Okay.
So I went down.
Okay.
I went down there, and they had the build a custom figure class that you could do. So this is what kicked all this custom stuff off. You paid $50 or $70 or whatever it was, and they gave you a kit. You had to bring your own Slaughter. They gave you a kit, and you could make Warlord Sergeant Slaughter.
No shit.
So I sat there next to Baldy Locks. Actually, I didn't know who he was. Him and I were sitting next to each other in class, and he looks at me. He goes, "You know how to do this shit?" I'm like, "Hell no, I don't know what I'm doing." Never popped the figure apart or nothing. And I'm sitting there, and I was like, I'm trying to paint the stuff. I was like, man, I can't see this shit. This stuff is tiny. There's
Right,
no way I can
right.
paint the metals. No way. I don't want to mess this thing up. I just paid for it. God forbid I screw this damn figure up. It's just gonna be a pile of crap sitting on the shelf. I've got OCD. So I'm sitting there, and I was like, I'll just take it home. Well, I took it home, and I started practicing on that figure, and I messed up. I was like, well, how'd I get this off? Cleaned it, painted it, cleaned it, painted it, cleaned it, painted it. Finally, I got it to where it looked decent. I was like, that looks pretty damn good. And then I saw that Zartan head. And then it has been a snowball effect since.
Wow. No shit. Dude,
Yeah.
I love I don't know, my favorite part of that maybe is that you think that's what Zartan looks like in your head canon. That's Zartan underneath all the masks. I think that's pretty fucking awesome. Dude, truth be told, I was kind of scared shitless of Zartan, right? Like Cobra Commander, for all his craziness and shit, wasn't like scary per se. I mean, Destro even at least had that voice that sounded kind of menacing. Dude, fuck that. Yeah, that dude I thought was like completely off his fucking rocker. It was something about like in the cartoon he had that shading over his eyes, right? And what it looked like to me was, you ever see the clowns that have the diamonds over their eye? It like comes around like this. And for some reason, that's how I saw Zartan. And clowns always creep me the fuck out for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. But yeah, when I would look at Zartan, that's what he always, and he had that echo effect to his voice. So just combining the two things together, forever it was, I was scared shitless of Zartan. But yeah, that I think that's amazing headcanon, brother. I absolutely love that. So you obviously have some police officers to go with that sweet ass vehicle you got there.
Yeah, I started customizing those too. So like I did to me, SWAT guys never show their face, right? So
Okay.
Toyomix, who was in here earlier, he showed me these finger condoms people use for video gaming, I guess. It's like a soft good.
Shit. Okay.
You just cut the part off, and I put it down. But I also, Bad Mother tattoos, water slides. All my cops have what they do. So I've got bomb squad, I've got SWAT, I've got police.
Bro, dude,
I'm
super jealous.
Do you remember the movie Cobra?
Yes. Oh my God,
Stallone?
Marion Cobretti's one of my favorite characters of all time. Fuck yeah. Yes.
To include his pistol. And I had to make his rifle, his submachine gun.
Dude, with the big optics, bro. Dude, that is amazing. Listen, I can't tell you enough. I have the only reason I had kind of taken a real big hiatus from social media myself. One of the only reasons I came back was I'm in a bunch of fantasy football leagues. So I had a Twitter account just to follow a bunch of like reporters so I could keep up on the players. And the name of that account is Marion Cobretti. A bunch of my teams are called Marion Cobretti. I absolutely love that. He's a crazy cool character. The dude who where he smacks the axes in the movie, that dude always scared the shit out of me. He definitely seemed like a crazy person for sure. That's awesome.
That was
Definitely.
my favorite movie as a kid, and I'm sure I saw it way too young. I know I saw it too young. Me and my cousin probably snuck it somehow, but that was my favorite movie, and I was a Stallone kid. I was not a Schwarzenegger kid.
Nice. Yeah, dude, I mean, we were really spoiled back then, right? We had Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's
Paul
why?
Van Damme.
Yeah, yes. I mean, and even if you want to say a little bit of Steven Seagal, he had a couple movies that were like Mark for Death is okay. So that falls in the pantheon for sure. But no, we were definitely spoiled. Like, do you remember that last action hero? I saw
Yeah.
parts of that the other day, and it was way better than I remembered it. I don't know. I did see some of the movie Cobra, and I definitely thought it held out a little bit better than I thought. I was going to go back and be like, oh my god, this isn't good, and it was actually not that bad. It held out pretty nice. Dude. So I got to circle back. You've got, for your police dudes, how many police guys do you have?
I've got a Brock Lesnar. I made a SWAT commander. I've got
Nice.
Cobra. I've got 4 SWAT teams, 5 uniformed police, so 5 regular cops.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Got 2 detectives, a commissioner. Oh, hold on. I got a package today. My buddy, Son of a Crayon Slayer, sent me a figure, just a buck, because I was trying to figure this out. And I also have a female officer.
Oh, nice. That's what's up. I love it. Dude, that looks awesome.
So this is the Valaverse buck, and I'm going to do a video of this probably tomorrow. And they, Valaverse buck, female buck. I don't know who it was, but he said it worked. And then the vest, of course, is from Law and Order, along with the pistol belt.
Okay.
The head is Peggy Carter from Marvel Legends.
Fuck yeah, bro. Dude, that is awesome. I love. Well, so do you have now? That between the vehicle and all of those custom figures, bro, that is amazing. Do you have a police station? I'm only asking because I wouldn't be surprised if you were like, oh yeah, I have this giant police station.
It's in the works.
It's in what?
It's in the works. I've actually got 3 police vehicles, and the police station is in the works.
Nice. Okay. We'll definitely have to circle back when that's complete so we can show that off, bro. That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, I've got I'm looking at a police Stinger. I've got a police bomb truck and a police SWAT truck too.
Oh, dude, that is so awesome. I mean, that's also, if as a kid you wanted to be a state trooper, it really kind of lines up with your interest. I'm sure that's pretty awesome that you have a line like that you can kind of
It's actually funny contradicting because I was a biker for a few years, and
okay.
Bikers and cops don't really see eye to eye, let's put it that way.
Not usually.
But this is the bomb truck I made out of the Wrecking Rig from WWE.
Ooh.
And this lights up as well.
Wow. Dude, you're crushing it with these lit up fucking vehicles, bro. That shit is fucking amazing. Because it's exactly, again, that's something as a kid, if you had the ability to do, you would just do. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, I love it.
Lights up.
Wow.
Of course, the hood. I mean, not the hood, but the roof.
Woo!
I just realized I didn't even glue the roof down.
Dude, that looks fucking great. What a killer way to hook that up. Everybody in the chat is going nuts over your shit. Popco Frenzy says, "Holy shit!" Snow Leopard says, "Awesome, custom and amazing to the figure and it."
And then this is a SWAT truck. All of these are up on my page somewhere. I've done videos on all of them somehow, some way. So
nice. That's what's up.
And I leave the light bar off the top because there's a small little pinhole to hit the button. And I was like, man, there's no way I'm going to drill a hole in there and find that with a screwdriver every time I want to turn it on.
No, perfect.
It's just a pain.
That's
So
it. I love it.
ticky tack for the win.
Oh, that's the way to go, brother. I love it. I love it. Oh, and I have to say, I love your sweatshirt too. I just realized that I have like 30 Cobra or 30 GI Joe Cobra t-shirts, not a single long sleeve. Dude, look at that. Oh yeah.
Mesh
That's what
snap
I'm talking about.
back. Yep. Bobby Wald, he's actually in the chat. He's like my little good idea fairy. Him and I bounce ideas off each other all the time. He actually sent me the logos for Springfield Police Department that he did through AI. So
No
now,
shit.
yeah, every cop vehicle I got for Springfield PD is going to have the same logo on some way, shape, or form. Like the bomb squad's got its own, the SWAT team's got its own.
Damn, bro. This is world building on another level. I absolutely love it. And dude, it's like I make a lot of stuff, but if you really stop and you look at the details, it just looks like somebody had definitely made it. And I just don't have that kind of time. But dude, you have like these big things that look absolutely amazing. Oh my god, yeah, dude,
The
that's
problem
what's
is
up.
I ain't got the room.
Oh, God, listen, space is an issue with a lot of us. A lot of our brethren in the chat can't display their stuff at all. Like I know there's a couple of people that I've spoke to offline. They're just like, yeah, my stuff is in bins in the closet. I don't have anywhere to put it. And then there's other dudes I know that are just like, oh yeah, it's my whole living room. Fucking.
Yeah.
So the guy that I got all those Python Patrol things from, he was he was fresh into a divorce, and homeboy literally had shit. Yo, his dining room table was two rattlers opened wide up. And I was like, yeah, man,
Oh,
I don't think a chick, unless she loves it like you love it, they don't want that. Nobody wants that. Like, holy fuck. Yeah, dude, he went way overboard. He had I think it was like 60 something bats. Literally, the number 33 bat. He had like 60 of them, all right in a big row. And then he just had so much stuff. If you can afford it, if you're wealthy, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of other things, worse things to get into. But if you're renting a 1-bedroom apartment in, a not great part of town, maybe spending, 15 grand on toys in a month and a half is not the move. Maybe you want to get that house first. But
my
hey,
goal is right now I share the room with my 7-year-old, and I just got another cabinet in, so I'll have 5 cabinets in that room. And there's no way I can display all the stuff I have, even in 5 cabinets. So I'm actually thinking about going back to work again just so I could feed this addiction I guess we have as collectors, because I'm retired right now. But my goal is I'm going to put a shed out back. It's going to be 12 by 20, I think, maybe a little bigger.
okay.
And when you walk in, it's just going to be one continuous scene from one side of the shed to the other.
Fuck
And
yeah.
everything will be able to be displayed. That's
Dude,
what I'm going.
seeing what you have going on right now, I 100% can't wait to see that. Now, it's also interesting how you say that, because that's kind of what I had. So right here behind me is a corner, and I have a good 8 feet going in each direction, right? And what I wanted to do was all the way on this end, do a Cobra base, and then a bunch of different scenery, like an Arctic and a jungle and maybe not a desert, but like a city scene, and then have it turn into the Joe base on the other side. And then all the figures just fighting in between. Kind of like what you're saying there, which I think is the coolest way to display the toys.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if he's here tonight, but my brother Country Gentleman has an amazing classified collection. But what he has them all stood up on a tiered shelf. So it's one big display with all his figures standing right next to each other. And I'm not gonna lie, even though there's nothing fancy to that, it does look awesome when you have a fuck ton of figures, right? When it's like a show of force, when they're all right together like that. That does look good.
I got one shelf. So every troop builder you get from Cobra, I've got one shelf. Cobra Commander's giving them like an in brief. Every time I was in the military, we'd go some new installation, new unit. You get a new in brief by the commander. So I've got Cobra Commander literally in the middle, and then I've got some tiers going up, and one of every troop builder is in that. So it shows all just the Cobra figures one at a time. But
Nice.
all the other shelves, I've done a diorama for each individual shelf, and each individual one tells a different story.
Awesome.
Like
dude, that's
I got the Fallen Fang. I brought the Fallen Fang down because that's going to actually go in a new cabinet.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that one or not.
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I know everything I do. Oh shit! Yo, what?
Bear with me with the camera here. I'll show it.
Yeah. It's all good. What? Holy hell!
So my buddy my buddy Turk sent me a Fang in the mail, and I didn't know I was getting this. And it came in 3D printed, but it was broke. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do something else with it. So I did. I scuffed it up. Put some water slides on it because it didn't have the water slides on it.
Okay.
And I made it look like it's a crash site.
No shit. Dude, what a great idea.
And I had this thing done for a while before I posted the video, but I was waiting on this stupid figure right here, the one from Monster Force with all the wounds in it.
Yep, okay.
Um,
Dude, that is such a crazy cool idea. Wow. Damn, I mean,
so I made something out of nothing.
I was just gonna say, way to make lemonade out of lemons. You know what I mean? Holy hell, dude! Wow.
I took the pieces, I submerged them in silicone, so they're in. It looks like it's crashed inside water.
Oh, dude, that is awesome. I mean, I can't think of a better way to have done something with that.
Yeah.
Huh. Very nice, bro. That's amazing. You got, dude, everything that I see. So what's impressive about a lot of the stuff is that, you know, it's not like it's not just like a reproduction of something. You really upgrade things, especially with like the lighting. It just makes everything look good. So it's like you can feel the love and the passion in the stuff that you're making, because it only winds up, the stuff that looks the best is the stuff that's like, you know, I don't want to say obsessed over, but at the same time, kind of sort of like the detail that goes into shit like that is just, that's amazing. So what a good way to do that. I'm always worried about getting something busted. Funny story. Ultimately, nothing got broke, but this thing right here that I've got a bunch of figures on, it's the bar for Mo's Mine. That one's in Cobra. I got the Joe one right here, but the one in Cobra, I received that and the Outpost at the same time. And I was upstairs and I opened it was all in a big box. I opened up the box and I was like, oh shit. And so I pulled the bar out and I was looking at it. And then I put the bar outside the box on top of the box, holding the box, going down the stairs to where the studio is. And my old ass, whoop, I slipped. My slipper went right off the shoe. Dude, the thing went over the air, went end over end down the stairs, slammed onto the slab, because the basement wasn't finished then, so the floor wasn't down. Right off the slab into the foundation wall, and the only thing that broke on it was this tiny little piece of the corner that must have maybe took the brunt of that first impact. So mercifully, every time we talk about anything like that, that's the first thing that comes to mind, and I still can't believe how lucky I got there. But I think that's also because the quality of the product is pretty off the hook. So yeah. I'm trying to think here. What I think you might have already kind of answered this question, but the first custom you got into was the or not the
My
first custom
bike and my custom. The slaughter. This is
that's right.
slaughter
That's
I was
right.
talking about.
Nice. And then how did what was your first like super? Oh yeah, dude, that's so awesome. Look at that.
My wife had to bring it down, but she forgot he came with a championship belt too. Now the funny thing is about this,
shit.
The guy that made this is Chris from Grindhouse Studios, and he made this outfit for it. So you had to repaint all this stuff myself. I didn't know how to do that when I first started. So this was my learning figure, and I was a big Slaughter fan as a kid. But he also has a championship belt with Cobra on it, and it says World, Domination Leader or something like that. But the funny thing was, when Slaughter won the championship in WWE, he never won it as what they call the baby face. He only won it as a heel. So the fact that he's got a belt with Cobra as a heel is kind of funny too. So
dude,
it was like
That's amazing, brother. What a great story. Yeah, dude. The this is what I mean. Like all of the stuff that you're showing me has this killer thought process behind it, and I think that probably has a lot to do with how good everything comes out. Like I'm still like thinking that that whole thing about Zartan. I think that that's perfect because I've always wondered about that. Like what how did he get like that? What is his story? Like why is he the way he is? And the same thing with a lot of other like Cobra Commander. That's why like when it comes to Cobra Commander, I think I now don't get me wrong, the hooded Cobra Commander looks super badass. I've seen a bunch of customs, especially there was a guy that had did the 3D printed it was a black hood that you could probably make like a black Cobra Commander, black
Yeah,
suited Cobra Commander. And I'm sure that will look awesome. But for some reason, and for a classified figure, I think I would love it. But for some reason, when I think Cobra Commander, I have to go battle mask instead of hood. Because, like, for me, the battle mask leaves you up to you don't see any of his skin or anything. So with the he's got gloves on, there's the neck thing, and then he's got this mask. So it really leaves you up to like it could be anything going on under there. He could be just a person with a fucked up face. He could be not fucked up at all. He could just be a battle mask that he always wears all the time. But when he has the hood on, you can see his eyes look very human. You know what I mean? So it almost takes a lot of that kind of like a lot of that mystery behind what goes on with Cobra Commander. You're like, oh, he's just a dude who smoked too many cigarettes. When you see the hood. How about you? How do you like your Cobra Commander?
Hooded all the way.
Oh, nice. That's what's up.
To me, the hood gives that more mystery. The helmet, he looks like a damn viper. I always thought that as a kid.
He does.
The hood is my Cobra Commander.
Nice. Okay, that's what's up. And like I said, I do love the hood. I think it looks amazing. But for some reason, I don't know, that battle mask is sweet. Why we're on something similar? What about Snake Eyes? How do you like your Snake Eyes? Ninja Commando, particular combination? Like I'm like I go like 70% commando, 30% ninja, right? Just like a real badass commando that is extra badass at being a commando because he has some ninja training, right? I don't mind the sword, that's fine, but I like a little more guns.
I'd say he's 50-50. I mean, he was one of my first figures, like I mentioned earlier, but I'm a Dreadnought kid all the way. I mean, motorcycles, the grit,
Nice.
just and what I'm doing now is I'm world building. I quit army building Cobra Troopers. I was doing it for a while. I'm gonna get 2 or 3 of each, and that's about it. But I mean, I was getting like, except for bats. I mean, you can just never have enough bats, and I've even got the school bus for the bats. I built that too. But to me,
dude, I think I saw that. How fucking off. Did you show that off?
Yeah, I showed it off in my custom video. It's way up on the shelf right now. But
okay. I thought I saw it. Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
what a great idea too.
What I want to build. I want to world build the Dreadnoughts.
There you go. There you go.
Plan for everything I've got to do with them.
That's what's up. What do you think you have on deck? Are you going with like a Dreadnought's cat? I don't know why I always envision them in a swamp, like a cabin in the swamp.
That's gonna be part of it. We'll leave it at that, and a gas station. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect.
While, probably a year or two, but I mean, I just put together. I wrote the recipe today for 4 Dreadnoughts, and I put together 2 Dreadnoughts today. And I have a vehicle coming out this week that is probably going to shock the hell out of some people that you're not going to recognize what the vehicle was to begin with.
Okay.
And I will say it's a Stinger, but it does not look like a Stinger.
That's
what's up. I put a little spin to it.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, dude, I'm excited for that. I'll have to make sure when I catch it, I'll share over on the social medias. Yeah, I always have this saying when it comes. Oh,
that's part of my Dreadnought world.
Oh shit!
So this is my Dreadnought Wrecker for Road Pig.
Dude, that thing looks fucking enormous, bro. What is that originally?
That was the WWE wrecking rig.
Oh, right. Okay, same thing.
Same one as the bomb truck.
Yo, I love. Wow, That yellow around the wheels looks pretty sweet too. That paint job is amazing. Is that your
Yeah.
paint job with the flames and shit?
Yep. Well, I mean, the flames were on there, but they were different, so I just made my own flames.
Okay.
I mean,
Huh,
but,
dude, that is fucking awesome. Custom after custom. I love it.
and I've
I
got
love it. Yeah,
I've
something
got
that's
6 more vehicles sitting over on the bench right now in various stages. It's just too damn cold. I can't paint shit.
oh, dude, for real. So, are you? Where do you? Are you in your shop now, or are you in the house?
This is my garage. This is where I
Okay,
do all my stuff at.
nice. And now normally you don't need any kind of a heater or anything. Normally it's at temperature. We're just getting that cold front right now. Yeah, man.
Well,
It
I got a little space heater here, just to keep me warm at night.
okay. There you go. There you go. But in terms of painting something, I get you, man. You need them right conditions. You don't want that work to go to waste by having it, not dry properly. Shit like that.
It's not that; it's going outside to paint it. I can't paint in my garage. I've got
Oh,
two motorcycles that are in here, and I'm
okay.
not taking. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody that says like, "Oh, you can just cover the bike and you won't get any overspray." Bullshit.
No,
You
no.
cover a bike, you will get overspray. You will get dust. You will get dirt. You will get
No.
sawdust. It doesn't matter.
Right. Right.
And,
Well,
I mean, $50,000 on motorcycles. I'm not doing that.
right.
My
Right.
wife would friggin' kill me if I told her my shit got messed up.
100%. 100%. I run into issues like so. One of the like I use my whole. I have 480 square feet out there, and it is packed to the gills with tools. I wanted to have this out there where I could build these huge dios and have all the toys right there. I can't unfortunately do that. Like there's so much shit that dust that flies around out there. I just man, I really wish I could. But like you're saying with the overspray gets everywhere, brother. There's no doubt about it. This actually coming up this spring. I have a guy who wants me to touch up the paint. He's got a 3-story brownstone around all the windows. He's got this very nice fancy trim work. And a couple of years ago, I did a couple repairs on them and then painted the ones that I did. But now that has faded, and then all the other ones need it. And I'm trying to. He's like, "Oh, how come you can't, just get closer?" And I'm like, "Dude, we're outside. We're a slave to the elements. You know what I mean? If the wind starts to blow, there's nothing I can do about that. All I can do is, bring the lift up to where the window is, and then try to put the have like almost like a bumper that goes around the window. That way, when I'm spraying it, we are like that window is enclosed because that shit gets everywhere. Right. Yeah, without a doubt. That's what's up. Do you have a favorite like custom that you've done so far? Anything stand out? Maybe that you love doing it, or ultimately in the end you're like, oh shit, this is too good.
Figure of vehicle.
Well, let's do both. Figure first.
Vehicle will be coming out this week. It's the one
Okay.
I'm most excited for because it's so far. But I just did myself today.
Nice.
I already posted the video, but I did this. I thought of this a while back. I always wear shell toes. I'm wearing red and black ones right now. Adidas shell toes are my go-to shoe. Is what I always wear.
Okay.
Nice. Marvel Legends came out with that Daredevil. The guy in the all black with he was wearing the damn headband, right?
Okay.
You saw that one?
I think it sounds familiar.
When that came out, he had shell toes on. I mean, there were only 2 stripes, but there were shell toes, Adidas shell toes. I was
shit.
I want to get that figure. And I looked at my wife as soon as I saw that come out, and I told her, I said, "Hey, I want to get this figure." She's like, "What the heck are you gonna do with that?" He's just for the shoes. I'm like, "No. What do I always wear?" She goes, "Well, you're always in a black hoodie or a black t-shirt and jeans with shell toes." I'm like, "No shit. That's why I want the figure." She goes, "Where are you gonna get the blue jeans?" I said, "Shipwreck." She goes, and she's seen me out here messing with stuff before. She's like, "You think it'll fit?" I said, "I'll make it work." So I made myself.
Nice. Oh, dude, that is awesome. Oh, bro, I love it. I love it.
Like I said, Marvel Legends Daredevil. For the torso, the head sculpt is what the hell's his name? The Red Guardian from the Thunderbolts.
Okay.
And then the jeans were Shipwreck, and then there's the shell toes.
Dude, that looks incredible.
And I had to have custom water slides done because these won't get redone again. That was part of the deal. Cost me a little bit,
Okay,
but
yep.
well worth it because it's got Raleigh in the club name along with my position when I was in the club, and then I had my back patch from when I was in the club.
Oh no shit. Oh dude, that how you doesn't get fucking cooler than that. Dude, that look and it looks incredible. Wow, bro.
So
How cool is that?
and I'm gonna give this to my son, you know, whenever I kick it because I had Lonzo Wilkinson, guy on YouTube. He did a custom figure for my son. It's actually my son. It looks just like my son. My son's got
no
long hair,
shit.
so everybody thinks he's a girl, but he's got long curly hair, and Lonzo couldn't do the curls. So I put the video up today, and I was like, you know what? I showed the picture. I just took a picture, sent to my wife. She was inside cooking, and she's like, I love that. She's like, I wish we could just leave those 2 figures alone. I'm like, Cullen doesn't leave his figure alone. He plays with his all the time. I said, you know, mine's gonna be on the shelf.
Right. Well, that begs another question. Do you open all of your figures, or do you keep any? Do you maybe buy 2 of a figure so you can keep one on card, or you just open all your figs?
Depends what it is. I've got Cold Slither. I wanted 2 of them, one in box, one not. Like I
Okay.
said, Dreadnoks are my
Yep.
favorite. So
Okay. That's what's up.
and then as I start doing these shelves, so I've got, like I said, 5 cabinets. I started off with I think 2. As I start doing the shelves and I come up with ideas of what I want to do in the shelf, I'll pull the figures out if I don't have them already opened. Or if I
Okay.
do something down here in the table's 48 by 52, I think, on my
Nice.
workbench. That's
Okay.
where I started doing the large dioramas at. So I'll
Yeah.
pull everything out, set up the diorama, record it, and then put the stuff away. But if I don't use a figure, like I haven't used them yet, there's still have a ton of them in the box. I'm a completionist as of right now. I have everything on either in hand or on pre-order if it hasn't come out yet.
Okay. Nice. Well, that's what's up, brother.
It's just, like you said earlier, space, you know.
Yeah, man. It's a bitch. It's a bitch. I'm right now at a problem where I can't get rid of my empty boxes. I'm holding out hope that one day I'll have a big enough wall where I can just put all the boxes together. I don't know why I want to do that. It seems like I'm just showing off, but it's like I worked hard for all them boxes. You know what I mean? I want to put them all up on the wall. But no, I'm trying to be realistic about it. I think what I have to do first of all, I have to open all my shit, right? The ones that I'm going to open. I definitely have, I would say, 20 or 25 that I'm going to keep in the box. I'll probably buy more, but like the ones that I really, really, really love, I want to keep them in a box. So I've got those 25 over here. And then I have a whole pile of stuff that I'm going to open that I haven't had time to open. I got that over here. And then I have, this is all the shit that I bought originally, and half of it still isn't open. So I've got to like spend a day where I just go through everything, and then take all these empty boxes and put them in totes, and then I'm going to put them out in the rafters of the shop. And then if I ever have an opportunity to do something with them, I will. But like the space in this area, brother, has gone from not too bad to like holy shit. I don't have a room like I don't right here in this area. I can't really set up to take a photo of size. Right here, where I designed it, it was going to be a small area where, like I was saying, interchangeable little backdrops for 2 or 3 figures or something, just to take a quick fancy photo where you make it about like the posing as opposed to the, like worrying about the big dial. Just make it look 2 good pose figures. And at this point, I'm still like trying to get a grip because like my purchases I haven't had the time to like just put everything where it belongs. Shit stacks up over here, and then it stacks up over here, and then I wind up catching like an hour, and I try to organize it as best I could. And it's just the space is no joke. I did finally get
in your boxes.
What's that?
Do you still have all the guts in your boxes, like all the plastic?
Yes.
Strip that shit down, fold it down, and put it. I've got all those that I probably have over 100 figures opened up. I took all the plastic, tossed it away. Took all the backing, tossed it away. If you're just going to display the side of the cardboard, like the artwork,
okay,
cut the tape on both sides, lay it flat, put it in a box. You can fit all that in one of those big totes.
Yo, hold up. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I got to write this down.
I had the same problem you did. I did not want to do it. And my wife's like, you have totes in 2 closets. What are you doing? I was like, you know what? Let me break the boxes down at least. And I cut down probably 5 totes by doing that.
Okay. Okay. So that's very reasonable. Yeah, you know what, dude, you are the best. So I am 100% going to do that. That would keep all of the boxes intact for the purposes that I would want later, right? Ever, just pop them
Yeah.
back together. They'll go. That is fucking wow, dude. You just solved a major issue of mine. Because I mean, you're probably in the same boat as I am. There's a lot of boxes. You know what I mean? Like you said, 5 totes worth.
Yep.
I'm probably I'm definitely 3, maybe probably 4. But yeah, dude, that's okay. Wow, I feel so much better about that because I didn't want to go buy $75 worth of totes that I'm just gonna stick up in the rafters. You know what I mean? It just seemed crazy. But now folding them up like that and putting it separately, I think that's gonna work out good. I have been good at actually opening stuff lately. Like even when I don't have time, like instead of trying to force studio time, like instead of coming down and trying to force getting a shot together, I'll just be like, okay, it's late. I have to get I do not get enough rest for a man my age. So I'm always like trying to, just get down here, weasel my way down to do something to feel some sort of satisfaction that I did something down here. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just be like, okay, I just recently got two new bats that have to open and go with the ones that are already open. Okay, here, let me open these real quick, and then I can just like say I did something in here. It's true. I mean, I for me, it's truly an obsession. Like in that when
Yep.
I have for sure enjoyed other things on a kind of a crazy person scale. So before I did any of this, I did a whole bunch of progress videos. As you've probably seen, if you scroll down my YouTube, you just see me doing like work. That shit's way old. I got to go through that YouTube page and gussy that up. I've got a whole bunch of new content that I want to put on there, and I got to get some of them old videos off. But so I did a lot of that. I did a lot of review videos, bro. I got so much free shit doing tool reviews. It wasn't even funny. I'll do a shop tour out there sometime soon, and I was very blessed with that. But I was obsessed with doing it. That's why I was good at it. So like I was doing it, 2 Instagram stories every day. I was posting some kind of a video like 2 or 3 times a week that was like produced. Like I would really put time and effort into it, and it was great. And everything like that. But I do have an obsessive personality. But this is different because of all those reasons we talked about earlier. Because it's not just something that I
Right.
picked up as like a hobby. It's a true obsession that's linked to the core of my soul. You know what I mean? And I don't want to sound
How many
dramatic.
how many Alley Viper boxes do you have?
How many Alley Vipers I have?
Yeah. Well, no, Alley Viper boxes do you have?
Oh, well, let's see. I think it would be 1, 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
You
7.
only need 1, man. Toss the
Oh,
rest.
yeah, right,
That's
exactly.
the other
That's
thing.
no, 100%, 100%. So yeah, there's seven Alley Viper OG boxes, but I have literally 14 of the Crimson Alley Vipers. I had gotten some of the. I think I have the same amount of each kind, but yeah, that's all one box. Just like you're saying. That's all. That's all. I don't. It's
That's what I did.
and
I was at the same boat as you. I was like, I need to do something. It was getting out of control.
right, right, and
So
it's because they like I had a table until like I'd say 2 weeks ago. I spent maybe 3 hours down here rearranging everything because, dude, it was literally a scene from Hoarders where there was just boxes everywhere, no rhyme or reason,
yeah,
just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. And plus, when my kids and my wife come down here, they're like, why do you have so many? Why do you have so many of the same thing? And it's like, well, that's hard to explain. Come sit on my lap and I'll tell you about troop building. you know.
I will
But
say
no.
one thing. Cut the plastic out if you plan on doing like buildings and stuff, because you can use that for windows.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh man, what a great idea. So like this shit you're talking about right here.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, dude, that's a great freaking idea. Man, I mean, that's really making the best out of a situation because it's I I didn't want to throw them out, but now that you're saying this, dude, it is literally the ultimate solution.
And then
Because yeah, I'm
Cobra
just looking
Island
around
one,
now, and all this I can condense to like nothing. You know what I mean? Holy shit! What a great
yeah.
idea, dude.
And then
I
the
love
Cobra
it.
Island one, they have the map on the back. You can cut the map off the back and use that as like a back piece on dioramas.
Right. Or like I have like computers. I have like my brother Stevie Z just sent me here. I'll show you this real quick. I got it right here. So I have to put this together because it popped in shipping. But I have an idea. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, he sent me this thing right here. And yeah, that Cobra Island thing would look awesome.
That's dope as shit. I like that.
Yo, Stevie Z did not fuck around on this. So I'll just put that up. Like the color, there's so many buttons. Like even down like the tower on each side, there's like a tower kind of looking thing. Yeah, man. And the monitors, the monitors are just incredible. I think that's such a cool setup with the way he's got it kind of off to the side and everything. But yeah, so it was actually attached like just like this. So it normally would sit like that. That's where that connection is right there in the middle. But it snapped in shipping, so
Yeah,
I gotta. Yeah. Oh, I felt terrible. I felt it was ridiculous. But yeah, dude, I absolutely love that one. There's that, and there's something else that I started customizing, and I don't want to show it till it's finished. I had my brother CG Horror had some stuff that he 3D printed that he just wasn't using that much anymore. One of them was this bad boy right here, which I just took some pictures of it. Pretty dope. I love that. And then this, which will be appearing soon. Iconic fucking
I like that.
devilfish. I can't believe we haven't actually gotten this from Classified yet. It seems insane that they
like that and the dreadnought cycle we should have already gotten by now.
Right. Why don't we have these? Like, what is the problem? Yeah, dude. You say you love the dreadnoughts. I absolutely love the dreadnoughts too. I felt like the dreadnoughts did it, and it's funny 'cause you also like Sergeant Slaughter. I felt like they lent some sort of like real world feel to what is a crazy cartoon, right? Like G.I. Joe's got lasers for weapons, we know it's the army, we know Duke is like a regular leader of an army or something like that, but something about like the dreadnoughts seeming like they were like the crazy older kids from high school that used to drink and hang out and party, but somehow they had chainsaws and fucking bombs, and Cobra, used to ask them to do shit. So I felt like they were like offered that legitimacy in the same way like Sergeant Slaughter. It was like that was a real guy. You know what I mean? There he was, yeah. And like you had the ultimate inspiration from him, and I think that's amazing. So yeah, dude, I was a huge fan of the dreadnoughts as well. I had one of my favorite vehicles was I had the Thunder Machine. I still have my Thrasher, thankfully, but that Thunder Machine is an amazing vehicle. Like something else that I'm surprised we haven't actually seen in the
bullshit last summer when they dropped that video for the Thunder Machine. I thought for sure we were gonna get that damn thing, and especially because we got the Awe Striker, but we didn't have anything to complement it for Cobra. And then so they better put it out this year.
I mean, you would think that at this point would be fucking printing money, right? Yeah. I mean, I know
everybody's argument is, oh, they're a business and they have to reuse the mold. Everybody had a Thunder Machine. If you didn't have a Thunder Machine when you were a kid, you wanted a Thunder Machine because it was different.
Right. When they come out with it, people are going to buy it for two reasons. One, because they had it as a kid and they want it again. Or two, they didn't have it as a kid and they really fucking want it now. So no matter what, you're going to get everybody to buy it for sure. There's a lot of head scratchers.
I'm buying 3.
Nice. Do you plan on customizing?
I'm buy one, keep it in box. Yeah.
Yep.
One custom, one in box, and one OG.
Nice. Do you got something in mind for the custom already?
No, but I'm sure some of these 3D printers will have some stuff kicking out, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, that would look really good.
Nice. That's what's up. Yeah, like my brother Matt from Mo's Mind, he came up with a couple things for the Awe Striker. that I thought were pretty dope. I mean, I know there's a lot of people. Hold on, sorry, let me get this fucking thing. There's a lot of people who had trouble with the roll cage for people that had this bad boy on there, and it was real shaky. My brother printed up these clips, and on the top you could see that both posts connect into it, and then it clips around the end right there. And dude, that's fucking sturdy as shit. I mean, you know, if you grab it and rip at it, it'll move, obviously. But yeah, you can grab it like that and shake it. Most people, I feel like, don't have this on, and then they order that particular kit from Gridiron, you know, that's got the actual cannon. I think a lot of people like it like that. I don't know why. I think it looks awesome like this. So also this backpack holder that Matt made to go right on the back there, I thought that was fucking pretty dope. I do want to maybe every time I go to pick up something from Gridiron, I keep thinking I got to grab one of these, but every time I go, for some reason, I can't freaking decide which one it is. I think I'm going to probably go over it. They got a couple of them and they're all, you know, I don't know. But yeah, dude, I kind of like it like this. I like how it is. I wish I had more time to play with that one because it's pretty dope. I've only had it in the background and shoot so far, which is largely criminal. Speaking of which, that number 12, I had just gotten this the other day, a new one. All my other ones are open, but I got this on eBay. It was like 24 for a couple of dollars shipped or something like that. But yeah, now you're gonna have me over examining all my troopers. I didn't know, like, I remember somebody had mentioned about variants that I know the Roadblock had like a color variant, and maybe it was a different one or something like that. But yeah, now I got to know what the fuck the deal is with those. That's crazy. It kind of skipped something I skipped over when we were kind of talking about enjoying things as a kid. Do you have any kind of favorite figures, characters, like anybody that goes? I mean, I've always just kind of talked about like my top 10 or whatever because it's just good for content. So I always like, I came up with that list and then I was like, oh yeah, no, I think this is like an accurate thing. I think this is how I would rank my favorite ones that I had as a kid, shit like that. Anybody stick out to you?
Yeah, for me, it was Zartan by far was number one. Pig was my number two. Sergeant Slaughter and Outback. Those were my core four at all times. I mean, I know I grew up, I was born in 79, so I know they came out throughout different years, but looking back on it, those are the ones that I always had to play with those four. And then
who was the fourth one? I missed the fourth one.
Zartan, Road Pig, Slaughter, and Outback.
Oh, Outback, that's one. Oh, good choice. That's really dope figure, and looked so different than a lot of the Joes that came out at that time. Like he had I like how he looked like he looked how like a lot of military guys looked.
Reminded me of Rambo.
Right, like the movies. Right, exactly. And even so, one of my favorite classifieds is probably the Tiger Force Outback, like the face sculpt that he has, like all that shit. That's a good one.
The old man one's cool face wise, but I'm not a Tiger Force fan. I like the OG Outback with Survival on it.
Oh yeah, oh dude, I generally prefer the original uniforms of figures for sure. Tiger Force is one of those things that when I would order the figure, I would have relatively low expectations, and when I would get it and I'd open it, I'd be like, all right, I mean that's not that bad, but compared to the original, it's just not that good either. The Mad Marauders, I feel like the Mad Marauders is the same way, with the exception of the that Spirit and Low Light 2-pack. I don't know how to explain that. I was never gonna get it. I was like, because the original look of Spirit and Low Light are like so unbelievably awesome that I can't imagine them in any other colors, let alone with that blue and that green and whatever the fuck. I was like, I can't even look at it. Please don't show me these figures. I don't want it. And then one day I saw somebody had taken a picture of both of them and they were kind of standing there, and I went, oh damn it, I have to get that now. And I got it, and I have to admit, I was fucking blown away. It's like, I absolutely, don't get me wrong, I still love the original ones a little bit better, but for some reason, man, I opened up that fucking 2-pack and that shit blew my mind. So I think some of them are definitely like it's one of those things you're like, oh, if the original didn't exist, this would be one of my favorites, like because it's really awesome. But that for some reason those two pull off in that 2-pack pull off the shit.
With Classified, that Night Force line to me is dope because being military, I like everything uniform. Dreadnoughts are different because they're bikers, but the Night Force to me is on point because they're pretty much all solid color wave, and it's a color wave that makes sense, not like Mad Marauders or Tiger Force.
So Night Force is my favorite, 100%, not even close. And I actually, when I ordered my Atlas, I ordered it these colors in particular because I wanted that to be mostly for Night Force. Now those are pretty neutral colors that I can use for a Cobra because it's black and gray, but it originally got it for Night Force because dude, those fucking Night Force figures are amazing. I think that they're all great versions of the characters. Like I got I don't know if you have a Dragonfly. I do not, but I traded somebody for the Night Force Ripcord. Dude, that figure is fucking amazing. That it's so do I have it right here? Hold on. I don't. That is going to be over. Yes, that is going to be over on the other side. So that figure, dude, is the perfect blend of the black with the dark green. They have the hints of that in certain places. Dude, that figure.
He's wearing a Halo suit. That's why the Halo suit's like a one zip up kind of thing. And it was lightweight material, so that's why he looks like that. Crazy Legs pisses me off because they didn't give him a reserve parachute.
No shit.
And Crazy Legs is a static line jumper. Ripcord is a Halo jumper. So Halo is high altitude, low opening. That's what the acronym stands for.
Yep.
So he's going to jump from like 10, 20,000 feet. Crazy Legs is going out like I went out. You're going out usually between 800 and 1,200 feet. And you have to have a friggin' reserve parachute because the plane is what opens your parachute. You don't pull anything yourself.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm with you on that. So that thing between his legs is what that reserve parachute is?
No, the reserve should be right here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So for Crazy Legs. And he didn't have a static line or nothing. So what I did is I took some red 550 cord, which is paracord, and I've got my Crazy Legs. He's legit standing like this. So like he has got the static line and it's pulled back to his parachute.
Dude, I fucking love it. That is fucking awesome.
That's just my military OTD though.
That dude, I mean, you feel like that they would make that happen, right? Just, I mean, to put something right here to make it accurate when it seems like something that's relatively easy to do. Those are the things that make me a little nuts. I didn't know that, but now that you tell me, I'm like, wow, why wouldn't they do that? Kind of like, why wouldn't they give this guy an AK in his retro release? You know what I mean? Like this is an iconic figure, and they should have gave him the exact loadout that he had. The AK, the little missile, that it came with, the little missile that stood in front of him. Like I don't know, shit like that. Oh, and Alpine. Alpine is a mountaineer that did not come with a fucking backpack. How do you give a mountaineer guy no backpack? Now
that one I can see because mountain climbers don't have a lot of shit on them to begin with. That one I can kind of go either way with. But the Snow Serpent, you're right.
That's fair. Yeah, Snow Serpent is inexcusable though. Somebody's gonna burn in hell for that. Real quick shout out to my boy Kalel in the house. Thanks for making it, brother. He says Lowlight was like that 80s SWAT sniper look. Yes. So the original Lowlight I absolutely loved. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the original Lowlight with my Night Force because he basically has the colors and he looks like that anyway. I just ordered a urban sniper loadout from Gridiron. And even though I got it to use with actually one of the number 24 infantry trooper guy, because the blue matches really well, and I had him plan for a scene to take a shot. One of my first action shots where a guy is falling back with the explosion coming out of the back of his neck. It came out pretty good. It's not too bad. I got a lot of work. I got real lucky where I had the guy falling back, and I just had a clothespin that was literally like turned sideways against the table and up behind the small of his back, and it held him up in like the perfect position. And I was like, it'll never be this easy again ever to get a guy at an angle like that. Like I got so damn lucky. But yes, I agree with you, Colel, that is definitely he's got that look. And it was, I can remember thinking when I was young, like it was like, oh, he must be with like Shockwave or somebody, even though Shockwave didn't come out for like a couple years later. I remember just kind of thinking like he's got to be in some kind of a SWAT team, but in the cartoon he was just always right there with everybody else, and I was like, oh, okay, no problem. I loved it. He's one of my I think he sneaks into the top 5 for sure of all time for me. Absolutely, an amazing figure. Yeah, dude. The Dreadnoks. I love how they always played like a kind of a front and center part in the majority of the cartoons, like especially like in the movie. They're a huge part in the movie. Just amazing characters. Like can't fucking go wrong whatsoever. What is the latest pickup that you got?
It's been a while. I got the Ramen Racer yesterday, the orange one, the Dukes of Hazzard. I grew up watching that show with my grandfather, and I got it for a steal. So, at a toy store. But latest GI Joe specific, is the Stinger I'm working on.
Okay, nice. Oh, right, you got that one there. I heard a couple people that scored that same price. That's fucking crazy, man. How awesome is that?
Actually, I got one for $38. That's the one I did the police car one with. And then I bought one for 50, which is the one I'm doing right now. And then I bought another one for 50. And then the day after I bought the one for 50, it jumped up to 100.
Oh, oh my God.
Amazon.
That's awesome,
you
bro.
gotta watch
I love it. I just traded for this figure here. He's my first one, and I'm gonna have to get some more. It's the Twilight Guard. So he came in a 2-pack with the Steel Corps Commander or whatever. Dude, this figure is amazing. I knew it was going to be cool, but it's almost way better. Now, when I was a kid, Nike made a whole bunch of, I think they were Charles Barkley and some other basketball shoes that had like this orange and then that purple. So it just, I don't know, man. It really hits hard. It looks like, I think it's just a trooper body and webbing with the soft goods, the Trench Viper shoulder pads and a Crimson Guard head. And man, I had a feeling I was gonna like it. And my brother Rock Lockdown was nice enough to trade me for what did I give him? I think I gave him a Frag Viper and a police officer. Now I know that may sound a little lopsided, but homeboy has given me a lot of shit. So I was like, dude, I'm overpaying for this figure. Please allow me to send you a little something extra. I got a like 11 Python Patrol figures and a Python Patrol Trouble Bubble for an incredibly low price. And so I wanted to pay my due back a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if you saw, there's been people that have been picking up this 2-pack has been showing up at Ross, those like discount stores, has been showing up there for $12.99 for the 2-pack.
I never have luck at my Ross.
I
actually quit going.
Bro, it's one of those things, if you stop, all of a sudden they're going to show up. But I'm in the same boat. I have an Ollie's. It's not Ross, it's an Ollie's, and it's right near a supply house. So whenever I'm going there to buy stuff, I'm like, oh, let me just run in. It'll take me 5 extra minutes to just, go through the toy aisle. And bro, I've never seen a single thing. Not one. Yeah, actually, the one thing they had were these, it was a Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, little, almost like a Halloween mask sort of thing, but they were, they weren't cheap. They were decent, cool looking things. Nothing I want. My daughters don't want anything to do with that, but it was just, if you love like the Star Wars Black Series or some Marvel Legends, they definitely had some, they've got some stuff there. I just bought a I think his name is Jimmy Woo. It's a Detective Jimmy Woo from WandaVision, the show WandaVision or whatever it is. Just a great looking background character. Something. My favorite one though that I
That's the
got
only
is
place you can get that badge too.
yes,
Jimmy Woo.
Yep, makes it perfect. Makes it perfect. That's a really super cool little thing to have. Absolutely. One of my favorite like background ones I got. I think it was an Indiana Jones guy, but he looks like old drunk shipwreck. He's got like khakis, no shoes, a blue shirt that looks similar, and some kind of an old dusty ass what looks possibly some kind of a sailorish hat or something on, and it looks like old drunk shipwreck. I don't use them as that, but it's a hilarious custom. They were like $4.99 or something like that, so I grabbed that. And then there was some of the Star Wars ones, like there was a guy, Captain, I don't know the names, Captain Andor or Captain something from the show Andor. That guy looks regular. I just took his holster belt off, and he looks just like a regular guy with like a jean jacket or a leather jacket kind of thing on. I thought that was great. And then they
I haven't
had
checked Black Series yet. I check Ollie's for Marvel Legends. I think his name is Talos, the dude with the green head. I think
okay,
that's his name.
okay,
But the reason I say that is because his jacket can be used as a motorcycle vest. So I scoop those up every chance I see him.
okay, nice. Yeah, anytime I can see something that looks like a deal, I usually was picking it up. But part of that is I bought myself quite a bit of stuff in the last calendar year. And so I'm doing massive renovations on my house. Right now my entire second floor is completely gutted. So I'm trying to get some spray foam insulation and make some moves. But anyway, I think I might actually for the first time in my life try I've never had to advertise for my business. I've just always been busy. I just, word of mouth goes a long way if you're good. And, but this year I was thinking I almost wanted to expand. I would maybe want to hire a couple guys because dude, the bottom line is at my age, I can't carry tools and work all day and do all the estimating and you know what I mean? I gotta start making it work for me where, I can get some other people to start doing some of this legwork. But yeah, so I decided that in the beginning of this year, I needed to try and collect, not more responsibly because I'm not irresponsible, but I wanted to stop doing certain things so what I was doing was like on my brother that's in the chat here, Pop Cult Frenzy. He does this amazing service for our whole community by constantly putting out the best deals on G.I. Joe Classified and all kinds of other toys, right? I mean, it's an amazing thing that he does every day. Here's all these listings. Anytime something pops up and it's cheap, I have found it because he found it. Like a third of my collection has been bought, I think, through him or something like that. 25% of my collection has been bought through his like affiliate links. And one of the things I was always doing was if any figure got down to like $15, I was buying 2 or 3 of them. And they're super cheap. I can customize this. I can do this. I can blah, blah, blah. And bro, I have an enormous 2 stacks of figures that I bought for customizing that I've never fucking touched because when I do get down here, my thing is I take pictures, I build the dials. I don't have the time to be fucking around with painting shit up. So I was like, all right, this year I'm not going to buy shit just because it's on sale. Just because something is $3 or $4 off, you don't need to buy a lot of it. Now, with that being said, the Crimson Alley Viper is a different story. Those have been $37 at Walmart. They're never cheaper. Nobody's ever selling them for cheaper. They went down to $20 around Christmas. Well, okay. So I bought a bunch of them, but that's the kind of deal you say yes to. So my idea of trying not to buy a whole bunch of extra shit is going to be that. Because again, as much as I want to say that I'm going to be, customizing or doing this or doing that, unfortunately, I just never get around to it. But with that being said, whenever I watch, you're showing off something new, it's very inspiring, right? Like to see. Now I know I'm not as good at painting or doing any of that stuff as you are, but it does make me want to try it. You know
I'm
what I
still
mean?
learning, man. It's not easy. I'm still learning. Hell, it's gonna sit in the shelf anyhow. Nobody's gonna see it but me. So if I screw it up, I'm the only one that really knows it's messed up.
Right,
But
right.
or I just
That's
go
true.
back and do it again.
Nice. Yeah, exactly.
Bearded
Exactly.
Sumo's got something. Bearded Sumo's got something he put up. I want to show him something.
Timo Smothers is a solid body scoop. My Ollies in Burlington have nothing. Kalel, I've made 7 trips for these 7 different Ollie, three stores. I've done twice. One store I did 3 times. It's just insane. So yeah, this Chris Guard Helen is one of my favorite head sculpts. I agree, Kalel. It's a different thing than the regular Viper. It is definitely unique, and even as a kid, I thought it was crazy. And it's very just like detailless all around here too, and I kind of like that. It's I agree, Kalel. It's an amazing figure. So what you got for us, brother?
So Bearded Sumo said Talos from Marvel Legends is a solid body sculpt. You just have to modify the neck since the head is connected to the neck. You don't have to modify the neck. You can take the damn head and neck off, and if you have more than one cop, you can put the neck. This is my little mascot shithead.
Nice.
That
okay.
is the neck from the cops, and that is Talos's body.
Nice.
So all you
okay.
do is pop the neck off, and yeah, you toss the head with the neck. But if you'll have an extra neck laying around if you got a cop.
Awesome. Yeah, that looks fucking sweet.
So, boil and pop is the way to go.
Yeah, Bearded Sumo, quite the customizer himself, my brother. One of the first things I had seen from him, he did a salvo. Very, very cool. And then he did a whole run. Oh my God, he's one of my all-time favorites, man. I really hope that Classified does. There's a couple figures that I need them to do and do right. Salvo, Ambush, Blizzard, and Lightfoot. Those are like 4 of my all-time favorites. I think most of them. I don't have Ambush, but I have the rest of them. I actually bought the complete 3 3/4 figures because I had to have them. Those are the ones, right? When I think back about being obsessed with shit, it's those. It's Shockwave, it's the Alley Viper, it's the Destro, and then a couple more. But yeah, man, that shit. The Viper, I really love the Viper. I thought the Viper was always good, and we did touch on it earlier. But dude, the original Trooper and infantry guy, right? Mm-hmm. Just the uniform that had the little face thing and then the helmet, because that shit was like real. You seen dudes like in my high school that used to wear the bandanas like that, you know what I mean? So it was like it just made it look, I don't know, like I don't know. When I think of Cobra, it's what?
An intimidation factor.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And they had kind of like a little furrow to the brow. Oh, Zaman, my brother, welcome in. You know what? I thought I saw you. I wrote your name down. I forgot to say what's up. Zaman says, I just bought a loose, complete Tiger Ram to try my first custom print. Nice, nice. So our boy Zaman, member of the community, looks like he's going to try his hand at custom painting some stuff. So, brother Zaman, are you talking about the classified Tiger Ram cycle? Is that what you're going to get down? Let us know what you're going to do. Bearded Sumo says, he laughs, says, that's awesome, but I have a shit ton of fodder, brother. Yes, I'm definitely going to try that with Talos neck. Yeah, Bearded Sumo's got a bunch of stuff. So he likes the idea there. Let me skim back. Galel says, that's from Indiana Jones. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kalel says he got so the Indiana Jones figure, he's grabbed 2 to make Old Man Shipwreck. That's what I think it looks like, my brother, for sure. When I first saw it, I swear to God, when I saw it on Amazon, I think it was from Pop's Link. I saw it on Pop's Link on the timeline, and I remember seeing it and going, wait, what the fuck? And then I tried to see, I hit the link and it brought me over to it. And even though it said Indiana Jones, in my mind, I was like, it's Shipwreck. That's Shipwreck. You know what I mean? Absolutely insane. Let's see. So yeah, the other day I scored. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, your boy has secured a Rattler. I will have a Rattler on its way. Now it is a figureless Rattler, but my brother Dan Salsato has once again come through with a very, very, very gracious offer. Listen, I have to be honest with you. He more or less tried to give it to me, and I have to give him that credit. He basically almost gave me the fucking thing, and I insisted that I give him as close to market value as we all feel comfortable with, but I have to give him that credit. He's basically giving me the fucking thing. So I am going to be doing, I think I'm going to have to really consider this whole wall right here becoming my Cobra display, and it's going to be just a giant base. I'm going to have the Python Patrol entrance, and then I'm just going to have, like, at the top, you know, a Cobra Commander in a throne room with a couple of his heads, and then I'm just going to have all the other figures kind of, I think that's how I'm going to have to do it. But yeah, Big Red says, nice. Rattler, no rat, or figures, no figures. You got a Rattler. Yeah. Dude, and so it comes in the box, right? I get the box that I can display next to my Hiss box. And dude, it's awesome. When I saw it in person, I was like, so I was just telling the guys I got a Rattler secured. It's a figureless Rattler, but I don't think I wanted to get it until I was at that dude's house and he had the two of them on his dining room table. And I went, oh, I fucked up. I fucked up not getting that. So they had just did the pre-order for that, like kind of when I first went off the deep end, right? Like, so first figures I bought were in December of 2024. But by February, I think I already had like 20 of them bitches, right? I kept buying. And then, so when it came time to pony up for the Rattler, I just wasn't in a position that I was like, man, I don't know if I can commit this kind of money right now. And I hadn't gone through the process and then seen what happens in the aftermarket. And so in my head, I was just like, all right, if I change my mind later, I'm sure I can get one. Maybe I have to pay a couple extra bucks. But now, with over the course of the Rattler, the price of the Hiss went up, the price of the Rattler, everything went up, right? And then especially even as we got in, I don't know what it was, when they announced that the Snowcat was coming, the cost of the aftermarket Rattler, like looking on eBay, went up like a lot of money. And I was like, okay, so I definitely fucked up. I was like, from now on, I'm just gonna buy a HasLab, and if I decide I don't like it, I can always sell it for more money than I got it from, right? So that was, yeah. So I definitely went. Dude, did you grab a Snowcat?
Yeah, I got one. And I ordered 2 Hiss tanks, one for me, one for my son.
Oh, nice. Fuck yeah. Dude, let me tell you. So when people ask me like what's my favorite classified, first of all, if you ask me what my top 10 is, I'm gonna wind up giving you like 25 figures. I'm gonna have like 2 people are tied for number 2. I'll have like 3 people tied at number 5. I can't narrow it down. But if somebody were to say what's my favorite classified, I have to go with the combination of the Hiss, the 3-man fire team, and the Hiss 3-man fire team, and then the Hiss missile system with the Techno Viper. When you put all of them together, I think it's just off screen, but yeah, when you put all of them bitches together, it's really just awesome. The
That black
idea
and red
of,
paint scheme.
yeah, dude, it just looks so badass. I I love the Cobra Blue, like, that like strap irons got the, the blue and that red. I mean, I think it looks cool. I definitely do. And even as a kid, I literally have this, I remember as a kid thinking that I couldn't believe how cool they made blue look. You know what I mean? Because it was like, you would think for a bad guy it would be black. You would want, they would all be like, and but somehow they made that blue look absolutely fucking just menacing. And but it, I definitely want, when I got my Hiss tank locally, a guy gave me a pretty reasonable price. And at the time, I was like, oh, that was another thing too. I bought that Hiss tank and a bunch of shit from Gridiron right around the time. Like, I could have got a Rattler, but I spent it all on my Hiss tank and and a bunch of other fucking shit from Gridiron, a bunch of mech. So yeah, but if somebody asked me, yeah, so you, my brother, are gonna absolutely love that Hiss tank. And your son is gonna too, because that little
Yeah,
light
I've got
that
2 black ones.
yeah. Oh, definitely. You got to go that way. The lighting is so much cooler than I thought it was going to be. So I knew that I was going to enjoy that, had cockpit lights. I thought that was going to be great. What I also knew I was going to like was going to be the cockpit in the back, that little area, or the like the troop carrying area right in there. But yeah, dude, I was not prepared for how much I fucking loved it. Like, dude, just setting it up and then
Yep.
turning that little thing that shoots the Cobra symbol onto the ground. That looks amazing. When you open up the back and the back lights up, it's incredible. Now, something that I'm looking at, trying to figure out. Maybe one of my awesome 3D printer friends, like Matt from Mo's Mind or Chris from Sis. What I'm thinking is, inside the hiss, they have the little seat that folds down, and the tactician can sit there. But right across from the tactician, as cool as it looks to have a gun rack, he should have a fucking computer, right? He should have something that, so when he sits down, something should fold down into his lap that he can put his hands onto, and he should have a bunch of screens. Now, I know you can't fit this whole thing back there, but he needs like this big motherfucker right here, or at least something like this where there's 2 screens and then maybe one over the top, right? So he's got 3 screens right in front of him with a little keyboard. I'm surprised that none of these 3D companies have came out with something like that, because it looks like a really sweet way to go. Oh yeah.
I'd love to see an upgrade like that.
For sure. It's ultra impressive what they come out with on the aftermarket for stuff, for sure. Big Red says, nice figure, no figure you get. Oh, right. Hold on. I got to scroll up through the comments here. Everybody's enjoying a Rattler. Oh, Rock Lockdown in the house. What's up, my brother? Glad you could make it. I was just praising you in the great deal that I got. Kalal says, hell yeah, Rattler. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for the Rattler. And when you were off cam for a second, I think I had kind of just decided that, like, as we were talking about this earlier, that I'm just going to have to start by making the Cobra display on this side right here and just make it like a giant Cobra base. Throne room on top with Cobra Commander, like Destro and the Baroness, and then have like a giant armory down below. And then just that way I'd be able to display like all my Sys 3D Arsenal stuff, which is a fucking ton of shit that I have. Like these mission crates, I have a ton of these, all different colors, Joe, Cobra, all the Hiss guys, the fire team, like they have all of them. And he just keeps coming out with new stuff too. But, you know, like I said, he keeps making it, I'll keep buying it. One of my new favorite things that he's come out with are these crates right here, the legacy crates, you know, that look a little more like a traditional crate, how they have like wood, you know what I'm saying?
Then you open them up and there's shit inside.
What's that?
Then you open it up and there's stuff on the inside.
Oh, dude. So this right here, boom.
Yep, I got those.
Dude, how awesome are those? Absolutely amazing. You know, I'm going to run through a few of his things. So I also got, it's the Dreadnought one, right? Dude, it just looks so fucking cool. And what else would you pay a Dreadnought game besides gold?
Yep.
Love this. So, you know, there's a bunch of bars in here. You know, you can take a couple of them out. You know, the bars themselves, you can get them into a classified hand. That is the thing about Chris's stuff, is that it scales so well. I mean, it's just awesome. The actual mission. Oh, so he's crushing it with the chemical ones. This is one of my favorites for the mass device chemicals.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Yeah, dude, that's almost like if you have all 3 of those, that's like a fucking must have. And this one, so one day he sent me. I had ordered a few things, and he sent me some stuff on top of it, and I didn't know any of it was coming. And I got a box. I opened it on the show, and I was literally like, I don't want to say I was embarrassed, but I was like, oh my god, yeah, I was so geeked out when I was opening the stuff. And one of them was this one. So it's a smaller, different size crate than most, right? So he's got only that. I love how he just kind of went with that. But when you pop that bitch off, he's got these canisters right here, right? So there's 6. So there's two of each mass device chemical. But let me show you something quick, brother, if you don't have it. So to go hand in hand with this one right here is he has these. So this is the thing that looks like when Snake Eyes came out of that cave with the whatchamacallit, you got this. So the top comes off, and then boom.
You can switch them out.
Yep. You can put any different one in there. You can have it come around. It's really, really cool shit. Absolutely digging those. And like I said, when I opened them up on live, I was like, oh my god. This is also pretty awesome. I implore people who are doing dioramas, because this, you know, you can buy the base and just kind of put some tools on the top. Yep. This right here, you can set on like a shelf, or if you got one of his tables, you could even just pop it on the table, you know, something like that. But again, just amazing stuff that when they're his and as you know, because you know you got a bunch of his stuff too. The prints are super clean, right? Super
Those
crisp,
drawers
super
open up
clean.
in a toolbox.
What's that?
The drawers open on the toolbox.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that's still, dude. That is the best part. So, and you can act. You know, you can. It's a great place to store extra stuff. So what I have is, I think they're all in here. Is my
I've got all
Techno
my tools in
Viper?
that stuff. Yep. All
Yep.
my tools for the dreadnoughts are in there in a garage scene.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So I got off of Amazon a bunch of these right here. These tools. This is my favorite part. The top that opens.
Yep.
So it was like, dude, it was literally like $2.99. You get this. It's die cast metal little toolbox that actually opens in a whole set of tools. Oops, I just dropped one. I wound up buying a bunch of sets because they were so cheap. I was like, man, just in case they never, you know, show they in case they like stop selling these on the whatchamacallit, I'm gonna grab a few of these. But yeah, like even look at these little ass pliers that have teeth. They open and the handles are dipped.
And the figures can actually hold them too.
Yep, it's crazy. It's crazy how cheap. I can't believe how cheap they are. I think I had at one point I had put a link up for those. I can't remember which. I think it was on one of my posts. But yeah, that's just some amazing stuff. The first thing I saw from him was the scrap iron mission crate. Dude, I was so excited when I saw it that I ordered it and didn't even go to his site to see what else he had. I didn't even think about that for like 2 days later. But yeah, this one where you know the tray comes out, boop, you can put the missiles from the drone in there, put it back in, and these bad boys pop right into the scrap iron drone. Amazing, absolutely amazing. So the next thing I saw was the Firefly crate. That you know you can fit all the ones from the classic Firefly fits right in there. And yeah, dude, his what I also like and I'm really getting into is he makes the door setup. So they're smaller, bigger doors.
Yeah.
The one I got is the double door set, which is just ridiculous. I think it looks amazing. And something that I want to get into because I do have a 3D printer that I had to change the build screen on it, dude, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Is I got to figure out if his wall and floor pieces can I print those on my setup? Because you ever see when Chris puts out his own pictures of his stuff, they're like it's like in a room, and he makes all those fucking walls and the floor and the whole thing. I think they're amazing. And I think that would also help me with, as I was kind of saying, you know, having a diorama, you know, because it just kind of like if you put a bunch of, you know, Cobra mission crates in a room like that, you're now in a Cobra base. If you put a bunch of the Joe mission crates in there just for a quick shot, it's, you know, a real easy way to do it. Now, I still think that the way to go is, as we were talking about earlier, just get some of that foam board and some whatchamacallit, some wallpaper, and that's that. Mo's Mind Custom Design says the tank ammo, it's sick looking. It is. So that is I think the newest thing that Chris has rolled out is the big, huge tank shell. Fucking awesome. Absolutely crazy. He did tell me that he is finishing up the Alley Viper stuff that's coming out. And so his Alley Viper stuff is, I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's part of like the armory locker setup where it's something where you can put the Alley Viper shield up and onto. So I think that will wind up looking pretty awesome. He's also said he was working on a Major Blood mission crate. So I'm hoping it's going to be something similar, you know, to one of these, and it's going to be the Hiss style. Because I don't know about you, brother, but that new Major Blood with the red accents, he is 100% now the leader of the 788 fire crew, right? He just looks so perfect with that. I heard somebody say that on a podcast one day, and I've never been able to think of it as any other way. To the degree that I just fucking wish they did something and put a 788 on his arm, or at least came with something that you could put like a separate helmet that had 788 on it, right? Like, I think that would have really went a long way.
I did custom figures for my Hiss fire team, and every custom figure I've done, a Valkyrie, a Bat, a Saw Viper, a Cobra Viper, a Frag Viper, they all have, I painted 788 on all of them.
Oh, dude, you're right up my alley with that. So I have been pounding the table to get all of those, right? Like I want, like I want an alley viper, a 788 alley viper. I want a tele viper to go along with the techno viper, hooking shit up. Like, yeah, brother. Oh, dude, that is awesome. I tell you what, you know, if you want to do a video sometime, you know, where you're just showing those off, or if you have them,
Yeah, it's on my collection, my room tour or whatever I did in December.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, good. Then that's a video. I will put a link up for that then. We will definitely take a look. Because yeah, dude, I think that's an incredible idea. I always just looked at them as like just an incredible, like Cobra's deadliest squad, right? And I think that they should have especially the, now don't get me wrong, the Crimson Alley Viper already kind of looks like, if it just said 788 on his chest, it would already look like it belongs there. But I might, that might be one of my first ventures into customizing, is if I can paint one of them up with like just make some more of it black and I can make it look reasonable, I might do all of them that way. All the Crimson Alley Vipers I have, and make it like a giant 788 squad. You know, I think that it would look pretty dope. Out of all the dio shots that I have planned for the future, none make me more excited to think about than the one I'm going to do finally. Because as much as I'm obsessed with the hiss and all the photos I've taken, I've never done the shot of the hiss or the fire team yet. I think I did one picture of the infantry guy from the fire team, but that's it. But I got something planned with the Major Blood. And yeah, there's a whole series of shit that I can do. Because like I said, we've got the mission crates from 3D Arsenal. So I wanted to do like like a 788 armory where, you know, they're separate from all the rest of Cobra. They almost have their own special place where the tank is stored, where the tank gets worked on. The Techno Vipers, the Tele Vipers work with like the technician and the gunner to upgrade the hiss to make it as good as possible. And then, maybe even have like a trouble bubble painted right in there too, like a 788 trouble bubble. I think that they could do that with just about everything. And then it would be awesome. What about the Arctic hiss? What do you think about that?
I'm good with it. I mean, I don't have a problem with any classified they've done. The only problem I have is the Thunder Machine's not out yet. I mean, that was if you're gonna make any vehicle for a Dreadnought, that should have been the first one, and they should have done it right off the bat.
I agree.
And I get they're gonna go through the character listing and get the people out that they want first, but that figure right there should have been done.
Agreed. I think it's also quite strange that that they never did any other vehicles for the Dreadnoughts. Like they've got all the figures, they even went extra hard with Naugahyde and Road Pig, but yet we didn't get any motorcycles for them. Like, how in the fuck would they not come up with a motorcycle for the Dreadnoughts? Like, doesn't that just seems insane? I mean, you came up with a much better thing, but dude, ridiculous. My brother Kalal says, agree, the Thunder Machine is amazing. Actually, Kalal and I were talking about the Thunder Machine. Evil Dookie, if you're almost probably unfamiliar, but our boy Kalal here has the most ridiculous carded collection I've ever seen. Anytime, like, there's this one account that posts like a picture of an old character, and it says, do you have him? Did you have him? Do you want him? And our boy comes through, and he always pops a picture up of something that's on card. He's got like the ones from like different countries, that like it'll be like a Major Blood.
Yeah.
From the Philippines or something. It's just crazy looking. It's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, that's our dude.
That's like, I've got a classified edition of Manley. He was
nice.
Brazil or Argentina. I've got a classified edition of Diana, the Red Guard. I've got a classified Bat. Well, two. I made one, and then there's one from SoCal Joe. I got Starduster before he came out. That was a SoCal Joe show. There's like 6 or 7 SoCal Joes I've got that are pretty dope.
That's awesome. Yeah, Starduster, 100% a figure that I didn't think anything of it, and then one day I saw a picture of it out of the box, and boom, you're just like, holy shit! Look at how awesome that is! Can't fucking believe it.
See, SoCal Joe show did it right. The box for Starduster that it came in looks like the damn cereal box.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That is fucking awesome. You can't go wrong there. Oh, something else that I just opened too is this guy right here, dude. This dude is amazing.
Yep,
I
got
just opened. Just
guy that looks like him.
Oh yeah. No, dude, he comes with so much awesome stuff too. How freaking ridiculous is it? Like he comes with 3 people's worth of stuff. This one seems the most practical, just kind of have a setup. I like how you can store this on the back and then you can actually have him carrying some heat, I don't know. I think that's pretty awesome. But they took a figure that is largely an overlooked figure to a degree because he just came with he didn't come with a lot. So when you were the kid and you looked at Tripwire, it was one of those things where you're like, yeah, but he doesn't have any kind of actual weapons, and so he got a lot of crap for that.
Be cool.
100%. They made this figure freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. I like how his the remote stores on the backpack. So that's something I've always kind of wished that they did more of, was that all of this stuff should be able to fit on the backpack, right? Like the way they did Snow Job, which I just opened Snow Job and did an outside shoot with him a couple weeks ago. But literally, they can put skis, poles, shoes, and his big ass rifle in a backpack. If they could do that for him, they can do this shit for anybody. You know what I mean? Just make a little peg to slap that thing on there. I don't know. I think it just makes it go a long way. Like Doc has a bunch of his stuff that kind of attaches all to him. Yep. He can even put his thing, the stretcher on his back, which I think is great. Do you remember the Stalker version 2 where he had the boat? Do you remember that the boat?
The canoe.
Yeah, remember the canoe had the thing where you could actually put it on his back? As ridiculous as it looked, he was like leaning forward like this and shit. But
no way in hell he's carrying that shit.
No way. But they did it. They did it to put it on there, and that's what I mean. I feel like they could hit us off with something like that. Just fucking A. Do you have any favorites from the classified line? I mean, I know we've all got a lot of positive stuff to say about most of them, but which ones stick out to you?
One I will not open, and I want to, but I won't, is that SDCC Zartan. I'm not opening that one. I'm leaving that one in box.
Okay.
But that thing color changes like it did back when I was a kid, it tickled me pink, you know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
As Great far choice. As the other ones, think here. I think I wrote them down real quick. I'm trying to think. Slaughter was like they killed it with him. I mean, he's perfect for me. But
definitely
Outback. I mean, like I said, I mentioned him before. Who was I impressed by? Snow Job impressed me because the way he moved with all his shit on. I was surprised he moved that well, that you could articulate.
Yeah, dude, 100%. 100%.
There was one more. I recently opened it up and I was like, damn, I should open him up a long time ago.
Oh my God. Colel says Stalker version 2, I have him carded, and I believe it. Actually, today in the timeline, he made a joke about having a flag in the box still, and I didn't. Now, if you look down in the GIF that he posted, you could tell that he was joking. But initially, when I read it, and he was like, "Oh, I still have that in the box," I 1000% believed him 100%. Dude, if you ever seen all the pictures Homeboy puts up, it's crazy. But yet, those are standout choices. And dude, I don't blame you for not opening that Zartan. I 100% would keep that. I do have my eyes on that to get that. I have been blessed in that my brother Roadblock sent me this exclusive, which is a very cool figure. I cannot wait to do. I have a very cool shoot I'm going to do with him and the Dreadnoks, actually. I'm finally going to open my Dreadnoks, and it's going to be because Chuckles is going undercover to buy some blow from the Dreadnoks. Now I know I'm pigeonholing them by making them say that they're, they're doing some blow, but I had to find somebody to do it, right? Like Cobra has to sell drugs to fund all their shit. There's no, where do they get their money from? Like they got to be doing something. So I figured we'll do a little story with that. And then my brother CG Horror sent me this. Otherwise, I probably would have never spent the money.
That's a good figure.
Oh, dude, it was already open to like.
He doesn't run my Cobra, but he's a damn good figure.
Amazing. I couldn't fucking believe. I mean, in the cartoon, he's an insufferable prick, but I just could not believe how awesome it was. Like it's the perfect size where like he's super super big, but it doesn't make it look ridiculous because he wasn't bigger than Roadblock. He wasn't even bigger than Sergeant Slaughter, but he was definitely bigger than like everybody else. Yeah, that was Arise, Serpentor Arise is probably my most watched GI Joe. I think I had it on a VHS tape because the amount of times that I watched that as a kid, that was not on TV like that. You know what I mean? Like I can remember coming home from school and putting Arise, Serpentor Arise on and shit like that. And I think it was, they introduced characters like Beachhead and stuff like that, and it really, really was a pivotal turn in the way that I looked at GI Joe. I think that it really it's a super cool story that weaves the science fiction in just right. Like raiding the tombs of all these terrible leaders, or well, they thought they were good leaders to get the DNA. And as a kid, you're like, yeah, of course, he just touched the thing. You just take a little dust from the corpse. It's DNA. Of course, it'll work. And as a kid, but it was almost like it was so hard to think of Cobra Commander as not the leader of Cobra, but somehow they made it work in the cartoons just enough. I mean, personally, I would prefer, Cobra Commander to be the leader, but the dude was just with this I command. He was just such a polarizing character. And it was just, I was willing to take it. But yeah, that Arise, Serpentor Arise, man, holy shit. That was where it was at for me. As a lover of good vehicles and big stuff, I want to show you something. I always show this off, so it's the coolest thing without a doubt. And I've referenced it a few times. And so my brother Matt from Mo's Mind makes a bunch of incredible stuff, but I gotta show you this.
Yeah, I've seen that thing when he first put it up because I check the same couple websites once a week, usually on Sunday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I saw that thing and I was like, damn, I want to get one of those. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. There's so much shit out there. And now that I'm customizing myself, it's just ridiculous how much stuff is out there. But that thing looks sick as hell.
I agree. There is an influx of stuff. But I can tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's why I every week I'm all about, showing off stuff from Matt and Chris because they're my favorites. There's this other dude I'll talk about in a second, but these are my dudes. And this part right here, that's so awesome. When I think about playability, the fact that opens up like that. Now you can still have it the traditional way, with the doors, which is also super, super cool. But yeah, dude, the fact that you can do this real quick, you can set up your figures exactly how you want without having to reach your hand in, I think it's perfect. I love that he has the seated position. So your gunner is like laid back, looking at a bunch of screens, something that's cool in the inside here. You can't really see that well, but there's a bunch of different screens, for the gunner and for the driver. And what he sends with it is I have to bring it out. So it's a template. It looks like a card like this, and it has a bunch of different squares that are missing. And so what those are individual outlines for the different screens. So you can print something and then cut it with a knife and have what you're going to put on the screen is already cut the perfect size. I think that was pretty cool. So that way you can put whatever you want in there, and then
That's a nice little friggin' add-on right there.
Oh, very, very thoughtful. Thought that was great. Because there's a access keypad and screen that's in the back, that goes in the back of the cockpit. There's like, I think three or four for the gunner, 2 or 3 for the driver, and plus the driver has that viewing window that's right there in the front, which, by the way, taking shots into the cockpit from that, look, with a little LED inside there, money. Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that thing right there, there he is still, as far as I know, he is still doing free shipping on that. Make sure you use, if you go there and check that out. I like that there are magnets to keep the door closed. Yeah, Chris from Sister Arsenal, what's up, my brother? Yes, and I think that it's the magnets are perfect. So especially for like the back door, this is one of the ones where the magnet does a really good job. So that really stays up, right? So you can move it around. You know, I think that looks pretty awesome. My big fingers are never going to get it out. But yeah, the magnet is awesome. So that's what keeps right here as well. That's what keeps the cockpit there. It's just like boop, boop. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Some of the other stuff
between him, Sys
that
3D,
Matt makes is just so goddamn cool. Like this bad boy right here. So colored as a night landing. Booyah. Very nice. The outboard motor looking good. Scaled just right. Now I'm not going to take the time to put the whatchamacallit on there, but as you can see, we've got look at how, like, where his hand is and where this is. It looks right. Yep. It doesn't look off or weird. And one of the super, as far as scaling goes, something else that's cool. So I don't want to show the you know what, but so like that, when a figure is standing up, it is scaled perfectly for this to go into the shoulder and for them to hold it. Now, if you take off, because there's 2 different size ones here, if you take the bottom peg off and go like this, the figure can be holding it at waist, or if he kneels down, it's still right where it needs to be. Or you can take that off completely, put the smaller of those 2 on, and now you can basically have your figure almost completely down, like, you know, or go with none. And then oh shit, I dropped it. And then you go with no peg. And I'm dropping everything over here. And no peg still gives you like the super low profile. So when I shoot this, what I might want to do is I might want to have the figure super low like this, and then have I dropped my test guy here, and then kind of maybe have these guys hanging on the side if I can get it to look right? So they're just ready to roll kind of off the side, but I don't think I'll be able to get them to sit just right. But yeah, having that low like that looks, I mean, how awesome does that look? You know, I think this just looks perfect. The color is absolute money.
Between Sys 3D, Moe's Mines, and Red Atlas, those are like my top 3 companies I order from. I haven't done Moe's yet because, like I said, that truck is one I want, but between Sys 3D and Red Atlas, I mean, those guys are great. I love their stuff. And very reasonable pricing too. Not stupid pricing. Oh,
that I couldn't agree more on that. So, you know, in terms of, you know, and I think their stuff complements each other as well. So like, you know, if you have something like this, oh man, I have all this shit over here. But this, I'm going to show you this one thing. So I consistently say that it's like almost you're not going to get it's so hard to find a game changer at this cost. So now I'm actually, and all Matt's stuff from Moe's Mine is gridiron compatible. So just to show, I'm going to put, this is the, there we go. So you got this one in here, but this is the outpost.
Machine gun and yep.
So dude, if you buy this, it immediately gives you a diorama. So for those people who don't have who can't make themselves anything, dude, all you got to do is get this for yourself. This looks so, you know, you can put people standing up on the top. It's got, right on the back here, it's got these backpack holders, which is a super cool design, right? Backpack just sits right on there. You know, your guys, they're hanging out. You can take a load off. All good there. And just the color, the detail, everything fits. It's so perfect. Now, all the the modular ability of these things is so crazy because you just take this pin out, take this off right here, and now what you have are these two. This can now be connected to any of his other bases, like the bar, which is this right here. I just recently got this. So you can get this, which is moves very, very
Oh, nice.
like you can move it around, and then you see that end cap comes off,
Yep.
and then this will connect to the side of this, creating one giant base. So I think it's like $150, $160 if you bought both of them. And I mean, dude, you just slap these two together and you have something just amazing. So if you look, belt fed in the back, this comes off. You can, again, that gridiron compatibility. So, I mean, listen, the stuff he sends to go with all this is amazing. But when, you slap that on there, it's just, your gridiron stuff will work too. So, and also one cool thing that I didn't think of and Matt recommended is that I could take two of these off and connect it to one side of the outpost and then have the other two on the other side. So it just extends it. Doesn't have to be this on one side, the outpost on the other. Some sand in there. I did a photo shoot with a lot of dirt. And one of the newer things that I also got when I got the bar, I believe has just hit the store, and that's this bad boy right here. I just set it down while I put this thing back. So I have this being manned by our dude Steeler right now. Steeler doesn't have a tank to go in, so I'm giving him this. Now, this is the ARC cannon from the top of the Atlas, but this is done in Joe color. And then this is just it's on its base. These also, this can come off and connect right to something too. I got hoses. You know me, I'm a sucker for them hoses right here. So yeah, dude, that just looks incredible. The color scheme is so good. And this is just like this actually behind the bar is like, because what I like about it is Steeler can man it. I have like a tablet that Steeler holds, but it's got these optics. So it really looks like it can scan the skies and hunt stuff down in the air, which it's now gonna have a rattler to look after. Did I see? Oh, nice. Our brother Curator Dan collects in the house. What's up, my dude? Glad to see you. Dan V. Yep, Curator Dan collects. Everybody that has an amazing setup for his figures. Lots of great work. Oh, nice. Hey, listen. If you haven't, listen. As a person who loves dios and customs, especially the customs aspect that I have to live vicariously through, right off the rip. I believe you called it the Hawk's Nest. That Hawk's Nest is amazing. I fell in love. I was like, dude, this is exactly what it's about. If I was a kid, this is exactly what I would want to do. I'd want to build this big ass thing. Now the base was super cool enough, but then when you got into like the courtyard and where you had the sentry post for like the gate, I was like, oh my God, now it's this whole thing. Absolutely amazing. Well, good. Curator Dan collects. If anybody listening to that doesn't know, that is our brother Dan Sasato from Dan. I hope I'm saying your last name right. I don't know if I've ever asked you that. I've always wanted to, but I hope I'm saying your name right. Our brother Dan has started his opening collection journey. So what Dan did was he had been collecting classifieds and classified adjacent things for years and has not opened a single thing because he knew he was going to be moving. So we wanted to wait till he got to his new place so we could set up his office and then have a room where he wanted to like chronicle the opening of his figures, which I thought was a great idea. And then one day recently he was like, man, I really want to get into this, but like, I feel like I'm not set up. I don't have, there's like all this other stuff that I want to have in place. And I was just like, fuck that. Start opening them figures. Put the table out. Go buy yourself one of them folding tables. Just set it the fuck down. Start opening them figures, and let's go. But no, he got himself lighting. Did get a table. got a thing that holds the phone while he's opening the figures. My dude, one thing I like, he wears them white gloves while he's opening the figure. And it's not that you need that, but what it does is it really makes the figure stand out against your hand while you're holding it. I thought that was pretty cool for an unboxing video. I thought that was a great touch. And so, my dude just started popping them videos out. And he's got a couple. I think he was trying to get a few of them today, a few done today. But yeah. Oh, listen, Dan, it's my pleasure, brother. I will shout you out all the time. The one thing that I loved about it is when even that day when you were talking, even today in that message when you were like, I want to get these videos done because Spirit and somebody else were getting open, and you're like, I just want to fuck with these things. And it's like, yes. So after all those years of busting his ass to buy all these classifieds and classified vehicles and all that, he is finally now sitting down to enjoy the fruits of his labor. So, and I love that he's got the camera set up and we all get to go on that journey with him. And it's, something that I should probably be doing too, in a sense that I just opened that tripwire the other day. There may be people who got tripwire, 3 years ago when he came out, and maybe now would love to see somebody else be excited about it. You know what I mean? So, I think Dan's doing a really cool thing. And he says, Spirit, Storm Shadow, Major Blood, and Barbecue on the next episode. Wow, brother, that is amazing. So the Major Blood, are you opening the Cobra Island Major Blood, that original one, which, by the way, is an incredible figure. So as much as I will talk the newer Major Blood, I will talk that up all the time. That first Cobra Island one has with that cartoon accurate color scheme where he's got basically just the brown and the black. That face sculpt is fucking awesome. Do you have that one, brother? Of course you do. That that Cobra Island Major Blood.
Yeah, I paid a little penny for that one because when I came in the game it was a little late, but I did get it. And then when they brought the new one out, I put that Major Blood up.
Yeah, which was a good move. I as
but
well.
All mine are in pencil cases. Somebody mentioned it earlier. Michaels has got these pencil cases. I don't know how much they are. So when I open one up, I throw it in that. If I open it and I don't have a pencil case, I put it in a Ziploc bag, mark it by number. I keep all my accessories together. If I open it up and have the pencil case, I have a label maker. I bought a little label maker for like $20. I'll label what it is and I'll put it on there. So, and then all those are in a tote. So I know if I'm looking for something, I've got those pencil cases. I can just go through real quick, find the figure, and it helps me find them a lot, and it'll protect the figure.
Dude, that's how much are the pencil cases?
Man, when I first bought a box of 12, we'll just say it was like $20, right?
Okay.
And that was a couple years ago when I first started. Now that you buy a box of 12, it's like, I don't know, say $30 because of inflation.
Fuck.
It's literally gone up almost double.
So, yeah, listen, that's not surprising. So Home Depot has been having a sale on these miniature totes, right? I'm trying to think. I think I got one. Here, hold on. I can show you.
Yeah. Khalil says if you don't open them, you don't need to do anything to them. My problem is I need to open them for vehicles, and other stuff. Now I'll be getting figures in. I'm getting into custom figures as much as I am. I'm building my own figures.
Oh, nice. So these at Home Depot right now, it comes with a lid. These are $2.50. So the way I'm doing it now is here's the 6 that I have open, but I have 8 more over there. So I can fit pretty much the rest of them in here and then just have this bag with all their accessories sitting kind of on the top, which is, kind of like a way. I paid $8,000 for my Major Blood. Oh, dude, listen, we all paid for that. Oh,
yeah. So there's these ones. I don't know what size they are, and there's one a little bit smaller. So I do that with my troop builders, like my cops. And then, this is right here under my workbench because me switching stuff out, and then all my extra accessories are in these. I think these are what they call crayon boxes. They just had these on sale at Michael's. You can get this box for $11, and it comes with 12 individual.
Okay. So, that's what's up. So,
like
my brother Kalel said, the carded king himself says, if you don't open them, you don't need to do anything to them. That shit's funny. Just another jerk had a good one the other day. I don't remember the exact exchange, but again, just teasing him about having everything still in the box. He was talking about taking some figures to go outside to take pictures in the snow, and just another jerk was like, "Yeah, but isn't that going to warp the cardboard?" Meaning, like, the homeboy still got him in the box.
I've got all my
says,
retro card ones up on the wall too. I did so if I wanted to open a retro card figure, I put one up on the wall. It's that nostalgia,
yes.
and my kid loves that.
Dude, I have the same thing right here. Oh shit, right here. So I got a whole bunch of them, the retros that are going to stay carded. So the Viper, the Bat, all of like all of the troop builders, shit like that. Yep, I'm absolutely keeping them carded for sure. But I did get some to open. But yeah, those ones, because dude, how great of a display is that going to make, right? And I got bit by the bug where I found a guy on eBay who was selling a bunch of 3 3/4 25th anniversary figures that are just awesome. And I don't remember the exact numbers, but I bought like 14 or 15 off of him for a very cheap price. I couldn't say no. There's like just ones like this. You know what I mean? They only existed for that 25th anniversary line or whatever, and it was a bunch like that, and it was just I couldn't help it. Yeah. Hillel says, I see I'm rubbing off on you guys. Hey, listen, there is something to be said for that. I think as a kid, I even had a part of me that liked having them in the box still. Like, I can remember opening them was like a big deal. I used to try to slice or have my parents slice around the box so I could slide everything out and try to keep it like as neat as I could. I mean, it was what it was, but
it was the file card in the blisters or the figures on the back. You wanted that because we didn't have the internet, so you wanted to see what you were getting next.
Yes, dude, the back of that. So when I talk about a GI Joe, it's not just like what the figure is, right? It's the figure. The figure came in. It had the card art, and then it had the file card. I can't explain to you how much time I used to spend just staring at card art, right? Like, dude, the Alley Viper, the Shockwave, dude, those card arts were amazing. The Mutt and Junkyard card art. I was talking about this the other day, dude. When I saw that Mutt and Junkyard as a kid, like that card art where the dog looks mean as fuck, and the dude himself is like he's got the mask on and shit. And he's got the dude. That's just that it's the greatest toy line of all time. It's not even close.
My kid, even now, if he gets a toy, and it doesn't matter what toy it is, if he gets a toy, I take him to the toy store with me every so often. We'll go to Home Depot or Lowe's they do the building event for kids, so we do that once a month, and then after that, usually I'll run to the toy store with him just because it's like our thing to do, and. He will if he gets a new G.I. Joe, he got retro card rock and roll probably a year ago. That card is still in he's got a big tub of Legos that sits on he's got a little kitchen table for kids in our kitchen. He still has had that card in that bin for over a year. And every morning or every couple of days, y'all see him looking at it. He'll be eating his breakfast. He'll just pick the card up and look at it and put it back in the Lego bin. So it's great to see that, And my wife said, "We need to throw it away." I'm like, "No, don't throw that thing away. He's looking at that thing."
Nice. That's what's up. Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool. I remember that's awesome that you like foster that and let them enjoy it in that way. My parents were kids when they had me, so I don't look back at anything that whatever. But like my grandfather, I was on my mom's side, I was the oldest grandchild, and so I used to go to him once a year to Pennsylvania to visit extended family. And so when we would go down there, we would get there. There was these two stores I don't remember the between the two, but I remember there was two stores that we used to go to. It was like a Caldor or something like that. And we used to he'd get me a bunch of coloring books and then a couple figures and shit. So I'd always have like figures to play with, and then I always have the coloring books to play because he's visiting with like his brother, sister, cousin, like all those people. So but he used to bring me with him, and it was awesome. So I always have them fond memories of getting shit like that with family. The one story I tell all the time too is when I was on vacation with my mother, my one sister, and I think my aunt in actually Myrtle Beach in North Carolina. And we saw in the store, I looked over and saw that they had GI Joes. So I was like, oh shit, what kind of Joes do they have? And it was the very first time, I didn't even know it existed, the gold-headed Destro with the despoiler, and I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, Mom, they don't sell this in New York. We're never going to be able to buy it if we don't buy it now. And she bought it for me and still, but it was just funny. Like I had like a freaking straight up panic attack because I was like, if you don't buy this for me, I'll never get to get it again.
It's funny. My kid asked for 3. So we were in the mall and they had a Toys R Us open up in Raleigh just for Christmas time, little pop-up Toys R Us. And I was like, my wife's like, hey, Toys R Us opened up in Raleigh in the mall. She's like, it's only gonna be here until Christmas. I think it was like November or whatever. I was like, all right. She's like, do you want to take a day? And this is when I was still working. She's like, take a day off from work. Since you got time, we'll go up there with Cullen. She's like, well, I don't want to do it in a weekday. I don't want to do it in a weekend when everybody's there. I'm like, all right.
Right.
So we walk in there and of course they had like 2 years ago GI Joes in there this year, but they were from 2 years ago and they wanted like $45 a piece. He already had them. He already had him. He didn't care. I just wanted him to have the experience of going to a Toys R Us. So we get done with Toys R Us and we walk back out and Santa's there. So my wife's, she's like, oh, Santa's here. I'm like, Cullen, you want to go see Santa? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let's go see Santa. So he went over, talked to Santa, took his little photo and stuff. And he came back and they gave him like a little card or whatever it was for him to write down what he wanted for Christmas. So I was like, what'd you tell Santa? And he gives me the little card. I'm like, what was it? He goes, here. So I look at the card and there were 3 things on that thing. A Nintendo Switch 2. He wanted a snake armor and he wanted Prophet Director Destro. That was the 3 things that he wanted for Christmas.
That's awesome.
I was like, Prophet Director Destro? He's like, yeah, Daddy. He's like, he's got a gold head. He's got the furry on his back. He's like, he's awesome. I was like, all right, man. Needless to say, he got all 3. Santa was good this year.
The young man has impeccable taste. Dude, I love the snake armor. I just did my first shoot with him. I had them actually all 5 I had them outside. Dude, I have to spend more time fucking with these and taking pictures of them because I think they're incredible. I feel like we don't hear enough about them. They came and were released at like the beginning of what was an insane year of purchasing, right? Like these when they came got buried under. I mean, dude, the detail in this cockpit is so awesome. Like I like the shots I can take with like a figure with 1 foot here and another foot up into the cockpit. The articulation of it, the way that it pops out. I mean, like everything else, it has its flaws. I just dropped a hand, but dude, it's just amazing. And I think it's again that it's that classification, right? Where they take the original thing and they just gussy it up enough to where it's like new. And dude, thank God that one thing I like that they did not give us a driver. They kept that price. Yeah. I mean, that's why I was able to get 5 of them, Well, actually, like an idiot, I only ordered 3 originally. And then the next time was it 3 or was it 2? I think I only ordered 2 or 3, whatever. And then mercifully, like a couple weeks after the order had come in, a bunch of them popped up on Pulse. And so I bought 6 and I gave Matt from Mo's Mind 1. No, right? Or what did I do there? I have 5. I bought 2. I don't remember how that worked out because I definitely bought some originally, and then I don't know. I must have sold 1 or 2. There was, like I said, it was a long year of purchasing, to say the least.
Yeah, last year killed my damn wallet. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, bro, it just never ended. It seemed like it was, and it was consistent. It was like the Ostriker came out, and then I think that was right after the Snake Armors, and then I just missed out on the fort mods, right? The thing that people are calling the porta potties. Now, the
Yep.
thing is that it is just basic plastic, but a lot of people gave it a lot of shit, and I don't know. The fact that when I take one of them, it's got like some weathering on it. That's nice. There's options. It comes with a lot of stuff, and it also comes with what I think is one of the best classifieds overall, and that is the trench viper. But this happened right as I started to collect. So once I started looking outside it, because mind you, when I first started collecting, I found a bunch of figures that were on Amazon, and then eventually I was like, well, who's making these things? Like, where do they come from? So I went over and I looked, and it was Pulse. But then what I saw was places like BBTS and other things. And but yeah, I remember looking on Pulse and scrolling down and seeing the picture of this guy, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? What is going on here? And then I had just missed out on the pre-order from it, and it happened like literally 2 days before I found him. But anyway, I've gone back and got one since. You got any fort mods, my brother?
I've got 6 of the Joe, and I have 6 of the Cobra, and my son actually has one of the Cobra too. So I got 7 Cobra ones.
Oh, lucky son of a bitch. Well, if you're ever,
I got
if
lucky.
you're,
I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, I've been on the hunt to try to find some reasonably priced trench vipers, or the fort mod. Because I mean, personally, I think that it's pretty awesome, and I can't wait to take a couple shots of it. Because like I've got the bar from Moe's Mind in the Cobra colors, and I think when I put the fort mod next to it, they look very complimentary. I actually just bought some stuff from a gentleman over on Instagram, GI Customs. He prints out a bunch of stuff. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I haven't bought any of his stuff, but his stuff looks amazing too.
Yes, it's very good. I spoke with that gentleman. I'm actually going on his podcast in a couple weeks. He just had his first one the other day, and February right now, I think I got to circle back to double check with him. But yeah, I think we tentatively talked about February 17th, which is pretty dope. 6 p.m. Yeah, I think that's during the week, but it's good times. I'm excited for that. But yeah, he's got some stuff for the fort mod. So it's a set of railings, and the cool part about the railings is yeah, that's right, Sister the Arsenal. That's what I got. I was
got the
talking to the guy.
railings, the legs, the walls, doors.
So I got the railing set.
He essentially built the whole damn thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I got 2 walls. So if I put these side by side, it would be a wall coming off of one, a wall coming off the other, and you would open it, barn style to let a vehicle through. And they have slots in it, so you could have somebody looking through with the. Oh, nice. That's awesome, Chris. But yeah, so it would be like one of these on each side, and so it would form a gate, and that you can have the 50s that come through it. I just bought a 24 pack of clear pencil cases. Oh, nice. That's what's up, Curator Dan. Not fucking around. Evil Dookie took your suggestion and bought a 24 pack of them clear pencil cases. Very nice. Yeah, Dan's got some great ideas. That's for sure. But yeah,
that thing right there, I did a video. I think I called it LSA Anaconda, and this is before GI Customs had come out. I took 4 walls and put them side by side like that, and made it a double arch door, a double swing door for LSA Anaconda. So when you came in, it looked like it was just essentially a big wall.
That's fucking awesome.
And then when I saw that he did that, I was like, damn, I wish I would have had that. I could have made my wall bigger,
Right. Oh, dude, what a great idea for sure. Oh, and Chris says the urinals. So one thing that the guy,
funny as hell.
Dude, that's hysterical. It's hysterical. And it actually looks, when you look at it, jokes aside, you're like, yeah, yeah, that looks like it's right. The one thing that he had too that I thought was cool is the computer bank. So it was the one wall where it's got 2 computers and 2 sets of keyboards, and he had some weathering on it. I was like, man, I bet that'll look good too. But dude, that's another shoot that I'm super excited about, is that one where I got the bar from Moe's Mind and the and then those bunkers. I don't know. When I first, like, I heard everybody, well, I say everybody, but a lot of people were very vocally unhappy with it. And I remember when I got my first set, I opened it up and I remember thinking, dude, this isn't bad. First of all, the figure is off the fucking hook, right? So you figure I'm happy with that portion of it. And then if you split it where you're like, okay, 25 for the figure, 35 for the rest of it, or $30 for the rest of it. And when you look at it, it's like, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe it would be great if the rest of it was only $20. But like, I mean, dude, it came with, it seemed like a bunch of different shit. I'm excited to get those railings. I really think the railings are going to make that pop. And then if I, separate them and then have that double door action, because that should be like, the way that I'm looking at it, it should be just enough to where if those 2 doors touch in the middle and then you open it, a Stinger should be able to drive through. And if that's
why I did it the way I did. Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome.
It's funny Chris mentioned the urinals because I remember I bought, I'm pretty sure it was him. I had bought he's got a metal table on Sys 3D. And when I did a prison dio for, I've got, who the hell's in there? Guile, Shipwreck, Spirit, and I've got Chuckles being interrogated by Big Boa. So I kind of made like a little prison cell. So all my dials that I do, unless it's on the table here, if you see me do a small dial, it's for the shelves upstairs. That's why they're all the same size, because they can go right on. I can take them out, put them right on the shelf. But I had ordered a table, and he didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I need some kind of table for the prison cell. So I was looking around. And I found Chris's stuff on Sys 3D. I was like, all right, cool. That's the table I need. I hit order. And then he said something when he sent me the table. He threw a little add-on in there too. But on the card, he goes, "Have fun with the jail" or something like that. I was like, man, this dude's reading my damn mind.
Right.
Funny as hell he said that.
No. Chris is very, very gracious. Whenever I put an order in, I'll never be able to thank him enough. I mean, I try by.
Great dude.
Yeah, 100%. And that, Chris and Matt from Moe's Mind, that is one of the reasons why it makes it, so easy to go to bat for their stuff all the time, is obviously the quality and that all speaks for itself. But like, behind the scenes, like, before I got to know Chris or before I got to know Matt all that well, they were just, from a customer service standpoint, it's just top-notch stuff. You know what I mean? I think that means a lot. I mean, there's something to be said for like, I think you said you were born in 79. So then we are in fact like the same age. We grew up at a time where our parents and my grandparents bought shit from places where they knew the people, right? Like where I grew up in my little town, before there was a Home Depot, there was, the True Value hardware store, some big, maybe there was like a wood supplier, but there was Manupel's Hardware, right? And that was right in the middle of town. I knew the dude. One of my good friends, Nick, his uncle was the guy that owned the hardware store. Or like, the bakery that was down at the other end. Like before Freihofers got big, it was you could go in and you bought your bread and shit from these people. We have farms right here, where milk comes from. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was grocery stores. This wasn't like a barter system. But at the same time, it was a much more personable thing where you knew where that money was going to, right? You knew that, oh, I'm helping support this man, his family, his ventures and stuff like
Small
that.
Town stuff. I mean, I remember as a kid, my grandfather I got my hair cut until I was able to drive myself from the same dude. The guy was like 90 when I was 5 years old and still cut my hair all through up into high school. And like, he'd shake and stuff, but it was all small town support. And that's what I try to do. If anybody, I mean, population in my hometown, I think is like 9,000 people, and I knew my grandfather knew everybody. I remember I was graduating high school. My shop teacher's like, he had said something one day. I came in the class. The shop teacher's like, he's like, what was it he said? Something about my grades or something like that. He's like, you're a good kid, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I appreciate it. I said, I learned a lot from you, Mr. LeBoss. I appreciate it. He's like, I had breakfast with your grandfather once a week. I was like, what? He's like, I've had breakfast with your grandfather once a week for like 25 years.
Oh,
he's like,
shit.
He comes to this diner every day at this time. He goes, that's the diner I go to every day, throughout the week. My grandfather was keeping tabs on me, and I never even knew it. But I try to do the same thing with my kid, show him, hey, this is what you do. You support small people like Chris, Red Atlas, not the major companies. If you can, support the smaller ones because it helps them grow.
Right.
There's a much more of loyalty, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And the little guys need our support more than ever.
Oh, yeah.
Big money only continues to grab more of the money. And so anytime that you can help, get direct to consumer, it's like I wish I could set something up to help my brethren in terms of like t-shirts. The Bearded Sumo, Stevie Z, Pop Cole Frenzy even has a couple of shirts. They all go through T Public, and that's great because they, all they got to do is submit the design and T Public handles the rest. But at the same time, they only make a couple dollars a shirt, right? And so I wish there was a way, like my cousin actually has his own company, and he has for years. He does merchandise for some of the biggest metal bands in the world, like literally the world. And so he pumps out like shirts and stuff and everything. And there's a lot of money in it because, a lot of the bands are dudes our age who are spending money on classifieds are also buying merchandise from bands and shit, And so he's done very, very well. I've been talking to him a lot more recently. Unfortunately, my uncle, his father passed. So I ran into him once or twice, and I want to try and keep in touch with him. But I want to ask him, like, hey, is there like here's the deal they get through T Public. Is there wiggle room for you to make these shirts and these people to make a little bit more money? And I guess what it boils down to is like T Public is such a big company that they don't need to worry about sitting on stock or anything like that. It's just you order it, they make it, they fucking send it, and they make most of the money. It just is what it is.
That's like
because making a couple bucks.
Go ahead.
No, it's just making a couple bucks off of your design. It seems, even though you don't have to do anything else, it just seems like that's a little bit out of balance. Again, I'm only paying $16 for some of these shirts. So where's the, they're getting 20%. I don't know. It just seems like I wish there was a way to do it better.
Right. That's like my banner behind me. I could have bought that, had that banner done online somewhere and probably paid a cheaper price, but there's a local sign company around here. I started Outhouse Customs in 2017, I think. And I was doing rustic American flags when I was in the military as giveaways. So whenever somebody would leave, I'd 19.5 by like 34 inches, whatever it was. I would do the rustic flag, Dremel it, all the stars by hand, cut all the stripes in by hand. I mean, everything was done by hand, custom woodworking. And I had the banner done in a local sign shop. I said, hey, can you guys do this for me just so I have a banner? And not like I was going anywhere. I was working on the same garage I'm in right now. But they're like, yeah, it was like this amount of money. I went back and told the wife. She's like, damn, that's a lot. I said, yeah, but they're local. She goes, all right, go ahead.
Right.
I mean,
and
she's
if it's good, and if it's good, there's nothing wrong with paying for quality. That's where it's at.
And this thing's been hanging up here for years.
Fuck yeah. I love it. And that's very similar. That's what you kind of just said is almost how, I have to pitch the custom products that I sell to people in terms of like, I did like a custom record player table somewhat recently. I get orders for a lot of cutting boards, sets of coasters, shit like that. And, one of the things a lot of times people will say like, oh, hey, I was just on Amazon and this is what they're charging for this. Can you make this for me, but cheaper? And I'm like, cheaper? Oh my God, no. You're buying from a factory, so you're going to get, factory quality products, and you're going to pay a lot less for it. I was like, most of the time, no. Anything that you see on Amazon, it's going to cost 5 times more for me to make it. But what I do, like the way I say it is heirloom pieces. Like if you buy a cutting board from me, it's going to be done with food safe oils that later on you can come back. I can sand it down to take some of the knife marks out, and then, or run it through the planer once and then sand it out, put a whole, let it soak for another day, give it another mineral oil, bath oil and oil bath. Jesus. And so they're heirloom pieces. They're things that you'll have forever, right? You're going to pay a couple $100 for this board, but it's going to look 10 times better. It's going to be thicker with better products. And you get, you get me standing behind it. And that's basically when we talk about the mom and pop store, at home, that's what you're getting, right? We're living in this planned obsolescence. I'm sure you're familiar with that whole concept where we're no longer we grew up at a time where now, understandably, TVs are obviously technology is gonna change or whatever. But like, how often do you see, you buy furniture? Furniture is supposed to last you forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't, now you go like, my wife bought a couch set maybe 4 years ago, and I got to be honest with you, I want to throw them in the fucking garbage and get something new, just because
Same thing
they
for
look
us. We've got one like 2 years ago, and I noticed the cushion sagging in the middle.
right,
I
right,
made a damn checkerboard for my grandfather when I was in high school. I was probably a freshman or sophomore, right, for his birthday, because he played checkers. He loved playing checkers with me. I learned from him. So I made a custom board, out of like walnut and oak or something. I don't remember, with the
right,
squares.
right. Yeah,
My mom came down recently and she brought that checkerboard back down to me. Still looks brand new.
100%.
Like, dude, you buy something like that on Amazon 20 years from now, that thing's gonna be junk. And this thing is probably 30 something years old.
100%. That is precisely it. So, like, my buddy wanted a custom record table, and he was kind of on a budget. So instead of using hardwoods, I literally bought 2x4s from Home Depot, ran them through the table saw to, how they have that rounded edge. I
Yeah.
ran it through the table saw to take the rounded edge off both sides, and then I took it, stood it up like this, and literally took, I don't know, however many it was. I think it was 30 of them. So it wound up being at an inch and a half. It will wound up being whatever. I think it was 3 feet or whatever the fuck it was, 3 feet wide by whatever 6 feet long. And then I literally put glue in between every one. I have a bunch of clamps. I clamped it all together, and then I just used my hand planer to smooth it all out in the end. Ran a sander over it, and then I used oh my god, I used like a dark wood stain to highlight the grain, and then wiped it off as best I could. And then I used a sanding sealer to seal the stain in. And then that way I was able to put a flood coat of epoxy over it. And so now he's got this table that is durable as fuck. That epoxy is going to look spit shine all the time. All you got to do is wipe it with a cloth, literally. Everything just wipes off of it. And then I use black iron piping that you could get from the store that they use for gas lines. And all I do is I screw everything together. I can cut it and thread it myself so I can make all the perfect sizes. And then I just hit it with almost like, it depends. Some people like it just the way it looks. So I may hit it with just a clear sealer so it doesn't rust. But other people are like, no, leave it alone. If it rusts a little, I'll let it rust up, and then I'll hit it with a sander. But otherwise I just hit it with a matte black and make it look, and that fucking table is gonna last forever. Forever.
The,
And I gave
the kitchen table we have, my wife had it when she was 19 or 20, whenever she moved out on her own. And she's like, hey, she brought, we got married. She's my second wife. We've been married almost 15 years or something like that. But anyway, when she moved down, we were down in Miami for 3 years and we moved here. And she's like, when I started doing woodworking for Outhouse Custom, she's like, can you redo the kitchen table? I said, well, what do you want done with it? She's like, I want a farmer's table. She's like, I want slats. She showed me a picture of it, right? So I'm like, yeah, I can do that. It's easy as shit. So I put that on there. Then I was like, she's like, well, I want it looking weathered or whatever she called it. I said, well, how do I do that? Looked up on YouTube and it said like add Vaseline to the paint. So I did that, or the stain, whatever it was. I did it and it pulled it off. And man, that thing looks like it's beat up like 100 years old. But I just redid the whole table and it's still the same damn table. So that table will get passed down to the grandkids, probably. And the same thing with my son's table that he eats breakfast at every day. That little table was the same one, because my son's 7, but my daughter, or her daughter, which is, she's still my daughter, but I consider her my daughter, she's 25. She had that as a kid. And now my son is eating at the same table that I redid for him. So they just don't make shit like they used to anymore.
No, not at all. Yeah, dude, you'll appreciate this. So it's a project that I have in the works. My parents have a bunch of black walnut trees on their property, and a couple of them had gotten a little older. One of them was close to the house, so I fell it just to get it so it didn't crumble over or anything. And I did it just in time. So I bought I'm buying it in two sections. It's one of those hand mills. So it's the sideways chainsaw that connects to the railing. So it's, I'm waiting on the railing. The rail part I will screw into, so that tree is down. The rail part I will screw into the log, and then the chainsaw connects to that rail. And so I'm able to cut that tree into strips that I'll then be able to run through the planer and combine. And I'm going to make a heirloom table for my family. So my kids.
Nice.
Now, the problem is I have twin daughters. I don't know who the fuck's going to get it, but they can fight over that later. Right. That's it. They'll be bothering me to make sure you decide in the will who gets the table. It'll be like, no, you'll have to, you know what you can do is you can year to year trade it. One person can have it 1 year and then the next person can have it, which is a ridiculous idea. But, I never thought about that. There's a lot of that shit that I have to think of how to split two fucking ways.
Yeah, I got 3 kids, so I got to split my stuff 3 different ways, but I've already done it. Like, I just went to, a little morbid, but like, being former military, you kind of have to think that way.
No,
I've already got my will and everything.
It's just smart. Smart.
And my cousin passed young, so he was 40, 41 when he passed, so it kind of rocked me a little bit. I was like, man, this is young, anything could happen.
If you don't have that shit in order, you're just leaving a mess for bereaving people to fucking clean up. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it just makes it even worse for them.
It's a total nightmare. It's like, as a parent, you owe it to your children to have that shit in order. So good for you. Yeah, sure. Does it sound a little bit morbid, but that's a reality of life, brother. That shit comes for all of us. No ifs, ands, or buts. So it's just a matter of, are you, do you want to be as prepared as possible or not? Right? Like, you can rock your life in a way that you make the most out of every single day and squeeze every bit of happiness out of it, but the one thing you got to do is you got to have that shit straightened out for your kids. Having the funeral already taken care of and paid for, like, obviously costs, change over time, but like having something where, like, I had a friend of mine, his father was actually, he was an accountant, so you can only imagine, but he had a thing where there was upon his pass, or I'm sorry, he was sick in the hospital. It looked like he wasn't going to make it. Even at that point, it triggered whatever it was for his life insurance, and the thing he had set up, a lawyer presents himself and says, I'm here to represent your father's interest in this thing. Here's what he's done for you. And it was basically like, you don't have to do anything. As soon as he passes, I then, this is where he wants to be buried. Here's where the funeral is going to be. All you have to do is pick the time that works for you guys. And then that's it. He's like, and if you don't want to pick it, I'll fucking pick it. And any outstanding debt that anybody in the family had was taken care of. It was just like, it was crazy how unbelievably thought out it was. My grandfather, as a matter of fact, also had something like that. Kalel says, did it as soon as my son was born, life insurance and will. Yep. Good for you, brother. Oh, sounds good. Unfortunately, family can get ugly too if you don't spell it out. Yes. That is another thing that, and that doesn't, and so mostly like people that think that a family argument about this could never happen to them are exactly the people that it happens to, because money changes people, and a death of a loved one does too. Can they take you out of the box? I'm getting cremated and put in an hourglass so my kid can keep me working forever. That's fucking hysterical. Oh my God. Can they take you out of the box? No, he's got to. Matt, that's good. That's good. There's a lot of funniness right there. That's really fucking funny. But good. I'm glad we can have a laugh over something like that, because we're all at an age where not only is it becoming real for us for obvious reasons, but it's becoming real for us because I'm sure most people in the chat right now are at an age where you start to lose people, right? So it's good that we can have a laugh about that kind of stuff, and overall agreeing that we should all be as prepared as possible, and then have a good laugh about it. Because hey, man, it's something in that Twitter timeline, Dookie, that we were talking about the other day, is our brother Roblox had brought it up about his kids are grown and out of the house, and whatever, I think it was Christmas vacation, They were home for the holidays, and like he woke up one of the days and was all excited. He's like, I'm gonna spend the whole day with my kids. And they woke up and they were like, yeah, we're gonna go to the movies with our friends. I'll see you later. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, what? And it sparked a conversation that everybody kind of added into it, because we're all dudes with kids of different ages. So there's that, where Roblox kids are in their mid-20s and he goes through that. And then there's people who are, kids are 17, 18, they're just spreading their wings. Maybe they just moved out, early 20s, something like that. And then it goes down to like my kids are 11. And dude, I cannot stop thinking about not wanting them to get older. Like it's to the point where I have to say, okay, you can't sit here and let this dominate your thoughts. You have to enjoy the time. Like you're worried about missing out on something, but you're going to miss out on something by worrying about missing out on something. If that makes any sense. But yeah, dude, that's a for real thing of, that we all kind of have to deal with, on top of, death coming for us all. It's, and I think the thing about the kids moving out of the house is what that is I think if you're a good parent, that is so much of your life, right? Is being dad, right? I never stopped being Michael, but at the same time, a lot of what Michael was reduced to like doing a podcast on Saturday nights and, collecting Joe's on the, you know what I mean? Like talking to that's it. Otherwise, everything is for the kids. I work for the kids. I coach all the softball, the basketball teams. Like I do all this that's for the kids. And then like some of my brethren seem to be, talking about is that, when that time comes and the kids are gone, you're kind of standing there going, well, wait a minute. Now what the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? Because that moment to moment, from the minute you wake up, like, dude, I get up in the morning, I have to wake both my kids up. I get them ready for school. I take them to school. My wife picks them up, but it's the second I come home, it's if I don't have, like, if I'm not a practice or a game for something they're coaching, I'm sitting down. We're talking about homework. They're telling me about school. It's literally almost right up until, the end of the night. And when they lay down to go to bed, I come down here and I try to squeeze a little mic time out. But it's over the course of that whole day. It's being dad. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that I wouldn't know what to do with the time. You can see it. It's the same thing that you're doing. Just that extra time you got goes right into that. But yeah, it's a for real thing that we're all going to deal with eventually. But it was just an interesting conversation to hear. It was almost like once Roblox made that post and he opened the door just a little bit, there was a lot of dudes that were ready to walk through and be like, dude, this sucks. Kids are getting older. This sucks.
That's why
how old are your kids, brother, if you don't mind?
Daughter's 25, my son is 24, my youngest son is 7, and I have a 1-year-old grandson too.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So then that I guess is the silver lining to them getting older and getting out, is that they hopefully bring you grandchildren, right?
Yeah. My daughter had a little boy, Ezra, about a year ago, and the kid hates me. I don't know what it is. His dad's military. So when we found out that she was pregnant, it was almost at the end of her pregnancy. I went ahead and I got him Doc because her husband is a medic in the Army. So I was like, you know what? The kid's got to have a G.I. Joe. Like right off the bat, I'm going to give him his own G.I. Joe, because my son Cullen already had him. But I was like, I'm going to give Ezra a G.I. Joe. So I gave it to the husband. He's like, what the hell is this for? I'm like, it's for Ezra, man. You're a medic. It's your kid. He'll have a G.I. Joe when he gets older, in case I'm not around. Who knows? But everybody that he knows for a male has no beard. Now here he comes seeing Pepe.
Yep.
And I've got a full beard. I've got tattoos all over the place. And like, as soon as he walks in the house, because my wife babysits the kid usually between 1 and 2 days a week when the daughter works, he comes in the house, he's just starting to walk now, and he looks at me and he like, oh shit, and he turns around and walks the other way. It's funny as hell. He loves, he loves me. I know that, he sees me, but he's afraid of me at the same time. It's kind of funny. So he'll come around.
That my sister Kelly was very similar. So when she was born, I was 15. I went through puberty very early. I looked just like this when I was 15. And so she was born. I shaved my beard somewhere I don't know, when she was like a year, I shaved it for a while and then I grew it back. And dude, it was the same thing. Like she used to love me. She used to take, we used to take naps together and shit. I would just put her on my chest.
Yep.
We'd fall asleep. And as soon as I grew that beard, she just like one day she was just like totally sketched out and like you were saying, run into the other room, that kind of shit. Like just crazy.
Yeah, you gotta warm
Yeah,
up to him. It's funny, like I'll push him around in this little plastic truck he's got, and he loves it. But if I stop doing that, and he's like, if I just come in a room and he sees me, he's like, "Ooh," and he'll just kind of like waddle off the other direction.
right. Um, so I just want to circle back to your channel, talk a little more about that. So I mean, obviously, we're all very impressed with everything that you had showed tonight. So in terms of like, I'm just trying to get it at your dio scene. So we know that you did the Hawk's Nest. Your son, it's now up in your son's room enjoying that. I love that. I think that that's fucking awesome. You've got that police, the giant world that you're building with the police. You got that in the works. That's great. Is there, and not that that's not enough, but is there anything else that you're working on right now that you want to talk about?
Well, Springfield Police and Dreadnoughts, you're gonna start to see some of that coming around.
That's
You're gonna start.
awesome.
Mars Industries is about to pop up here pretty soon.
Okay, nice.
I've got 6 vehicles on a table right now in various stages.
Fuck yeah.
And I've got custom figures coming out, and you're gonna start to see the figures. I finally realized that today it's gonna be very Dreadnought heavy.
Okay. That's, man, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. I tell you, some of the, I mean, they're very photogenic. Like whenever there's any kind of a picture of the Dreadnought stuff, I think it always looks amazing. Yeah, that's fucking great. That's fucking great. So I mean, that gives us a general idea of what direction, your channel is going to be headed in. I think that's great. Is there anything else that you've got coming down the pipe that you'd like to promote, talk about, anything like that?
I try to put out videos as much as I can, but customization is not it's not a review. You know what I'm saying? It's not, hey,
Right.
this is easy. I can open this out the box and here's a video for you every other day
Right.
or once a week. I mean, customization, I'm waiting on parts, I'm waiting on pieces, I'm waiting on paint, I'm waiting
Yeah.
on my own brain at times to try to
Right.
figure
Right.
stuff out. Like this Stinger I got coming up, I just used styrene for the first time ever. Never used it before. I had to figure out how to use that stuff. Um, and I don't have a 3D printer, so if I get stuff, it's from my co-host on the rough cut, which I do on Fridays at 9,
Okay.
Turk, or I buy the stuff myself. So this Stinger, I'm waiting on something to come in from one of the companies we mentioned earlier, and I know with the weather it may be delayed a little bit, but I'm hoping by the end of this week I'll have that video out, and then I'll have a
Nice.
how-to video on how I actually did it. So,
Awesome.
and that's what I kind of just started this to show my son, hey, you can do something if you want. Just here's what I did. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, what direction I was going. And like I said, it's a coping mechanism for my cousin's passing. But now I'm kind of leaving it as a legacy for the kid and the grandkid,
Nice.
but
Nice.
also leaving it to other people out there and be like, look, I'm just some dumb schlep like everybody else. If I can do it, you can too. It's not that hard.
I love
Pick
it.
and
I love
pick
it.
and pull where you need to from where you need to, and you can figure out this stuff just as well. And like I started saying in my videos, and I didn't even realize I was saying it, but if Hasbro ain't making it for you, make it yourself. We've all
100%.
got creative ideas.
Dude, that's, when you say, you bring up that point about Hasbro in particular, it's why, one of the reasons I like Matt from Mo's Mind so much is that, like, the way he talks about, like, with the Atlas was like a viable HasLab alternative, right? Is that,
Yeah.
if you don't want to get on that train of paying hundreds of dollars and then having to wait a year for it, and like, all this other shit, all the pitfalls that may come along with something like that, is that he wants to offer something that, he it is made for GI Joe. But like, if you look at the Atlas, I mean, maybe if you say it's like the GI Joe APC is, I don't know if there's anything that you could draw a line from one to the other. Maybe it's that, but that is very clearly like his own thing, and
I don't
that
remember.
is.
I don't remember when he showed that, but I stumbled across it, or whatever it was. I don't remember, but I remember seeing that thing, and I thought two things right off the bat. One, that's awesome for Night Force, or it's a hell of a troop carrier for Cobra. And then I saw the cops were in my head, and the print color you have, I'm like, that's an awesome SWAT vehicle right there.
So I'll have to send you some pics that I did. And yes, I had 10 police officers in the back with Shockwave. They all fit perfectly. I did a whole scene with the police officers and the firefighters that there was the Dreadnoks that started a riot, and that was the response thing that they came in. They pulled it at that. Literally all three of the things that you just said, the Night Force, Cobra Troop Carrier, and for police, are exactly what I've used it for. I've done shoots for all those. So we are akin on that. And dude, it does look amazing now for police officers. And I know that Matt has been toying around with different variants of this. And I think one of the ones that we talked about may have had something to do with a police officer. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly, but like, just for instance, I know, we talked about maybe having one where it had like an arm and a hose for like a fire, like a firefighter. You could make it so the back has a different use other than just carrying troops or anything like that. But dude, it's so good for that. I can stand up 3 snake armors and it doesn't look overcrowded. Like the feet all fit in the back of that fucking thing. That's how big it is. 3 snake armors. I mean, that's laughably big. But the thing is it's not just big, it's highly detailed. Like it's hard to see all the details here in this little spot that I'm showing you. And and every week that I come on here and I talk about that, I say the same thing. I'm like, man, I got to do a quick half-hour video so I can show all these details up close. I absolutely have to do that. Something that I know Matt is fucking around with is he is looking at different color whites that he's going to do so we can get an Arctic one of those and possibly have a variation in the back. I can't wait for that. I will be buying for sure. I think that'll really go. I mean, if there's a Snowcat, 2 Arctic Hiss, and then an Arctic Atlas, dude, I will have the most ridiculous, that alone makes the scene. I don't even have to build the dial. I'll just set those fucking things up and put the figures around them. That's just crazy. Our brother Curator Dan says, ask Duke about his motorcycles. Yeah, man, we talked about those earlier. They are awesome, 100%. So yeah, somebody out there, our brother Curator Dan asking about those motorcycles. Yeah, dude, he gave a pretty good description of it. We talked about it. They're awesome. They're like, I don't know if I've ever seen anything that goes with the Dreadnoks better than those motorcycles. They're ridiculous. I know our boy Thano has made a few different motorcycles for a few different things, but yeah, that's awesome. He also showed us a few custom figures that were all really good. Dude, that Marion Cobretti was so cool. I'm happy that you made that because he's a great character. Like with the sunglasses and shit like that. Fucking probably, I don't know if it's my favorite part because there was a lot of really favorite parts, but you had his weapon with that big sight on it. I thought it's perfect because it's just like so iconic. Yeah, there it is. Yes.
And what I used for that too was just nothing but the sniper rifle. A little bit of the barrel and the silencer, and to me it worked. I mean, it ain't perfect, but it's close.
No, it's right there though, brother. It's right there so much that it's just dude. That's absolutely perfect. That's fantastic. Very good. Well, listen, my dude. I think we're gonna wrap up. I'm starting to lose my voice, which just hasn't happened in weeks. I had a couple basketball games this week, so find your player, pass the ball, and I've been yelling all week. I can't believe it. But yeah, listen, if there is there anything else that you'd like to promote besides that YouTube channel that is Evil Dookie over on YouTube?
No, just that. And like I said, we do a podcast once a week, just me and Turk Murphy. It's called Rough Cut, 9:00 Fridays, Eastern time. And I'll put the thumbnail out there, but as 2 customizers, just winging it, not knowing what the hell they're doing. We don't always focus on what the thumbnail is, but we're always working on something. Like I said, I'm going to be Dreadnought heavy. I've got some stuff coming up that I had to think outside the box, let's say, and people are going to be kind of blown on some things. I think this Stinger is really going to kick it off.
Yeah, dude.
If I had a 3D printer, I'm telling you, the stuff I could come up with in my head would be out of this world. But I don't have 3D printer.
Nice.
I have to
Nice.
physically make it myself.
Well, so dude, I'll tell you what. Hey, Jeremy Kimberlin, what's up, brother? Oh, thank you, my dude. Yeah, dude. I've been very lucky with the basketball lately. Our last game we won 19 to 12. It was a hard fought game and we won again. Yeah, we're ending. There's only next week and into next weekend is the end of the season, unfortunately. But dude. In the beginning in October, I was like, oh my god, this goes on to February. I can't believe the season is this long. And dude, it could just like the kids growing up themselves. It goes by so freaking fast. It's not even funny. But yeah, thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate it for sure. Jeremy, I hope you didn't just come in time for us to tell you that we're wrapping up. But thank you, dude. I always appreciate it when you swing through. Matt from Mosemine says, get a printer.
Man, I'll leave that printer shit up to you guys. You just
So
hit me.
I'll just say this. I am not great on computers. I can use a phone pretty good. But when it comes to a computer, I get too frustrated because if it doesn't do what I want it to do, I don't know what to do about it. Right. So
Yep.
I have a cousin who I've been lurking a while. Okay, cool, dude. I just didn't want to do that to you as soon as you jump in. But nice. Thank you, brother. So my cousin usually takes care of any problems I have with stuff. He just moved an hour and 45 minutes away. So I can't just like be like, hey, dude, come on down, swing by real quick. I'll hook you up for, checking out my laptop or whatever. But anyway, from our community, my brother CG Horror said he convinced me that I could do it. And I was like, okay. I looked, he was like, what do you want to print most? He's like, do you want to print like big stuff or little stuff? And at the time I wanted little stuff. So I was like, guns, just, different kinds of things like that. And he's like, all right, you want a resin printer. And the resin printer will give you more detail on the very small things. And I said, you know what? That sounds about what I want. That way I can build like a dial wall and maybe print a bunch of stuff that just goes on the wall, right? Just little stuff I don't want to hand carve, like an electrical box or something. You know what I mean? Just shit you could put on a wall. And I said, all right, dude, this sounds great. Let's do it. So he said, he's like, here's a couple that are on Amazon, price wise. He's like, but the cheapest one is actually very good. So I spent between the printer, 3 different jugs of the liquid, and 1 thing of extra print screens. I spent less than $400. And brother, it is not hard. So I set up the machine. There's like no setup. You just have to there's a thing that holds that moving plate in place. You take that thing out, you turn it on, it's self-calibrates. That's why this one is so good. Self-calibrates the print screen self-levels. All I do is I hook the laptop up to it. I had it, once I connected to it, it literally shot the program into it. A thing came up, I clicked on it, it opened up the app that I'm using. And then right from there was one little thing that I click on it. It showed me a list of stuff that was on my computer. Here were all my ST files, dude. And then in the very first time I printed, everything came out perfect. I even got to like rotate, because you'll open your print file and there'll be a picture of your print screen on the bottom and it'll show the thing that you're printing. And you kind of turn it a little bit. You click something that fills in the supports for it, because it'll actually print the build supports and you just break them off afterwards. Dude, I promise you, if the new technology bullshit is something that you think is like something that's preventing you from maybe taking that leap, I cannot fucking stress to you enough that it is so much easier than I ever thought it was going to be. Like legitimately.
I'm not gonna lie, that trying to figure out like how I did this last custom. I mean, like I said, I used styrene, and like how I was gonna attach stuff and stuff like that. I kind of like the challenge, and I got a 37-inch toolbox over there from when I worked with deer. So when I retired from the Army, I worked for deer for 5 years as a shop tech, and then I was a road tech. So I got a 37-inch roll cart that I had in the shop, and when I dumped my truck out, I dumped all my tools to my 10-foot roll, to my 10-foot box, and I had the roll cart sitting there. My wife's like, "What are you gonna do with it?" I'm like, "I got so much GI Joe shit. Honestly, all my diorama stuff's gonna go in that. It's like a perfect organizer for everything."
Nice.
But
that's sweet.
I hold on I'm like a little hoarder. As long as it fits in that box, I'm fine with it. I don't let it overflow. I hold on to every little plastic piece, like I told you about the windows, you know, the cardboard and the
Yes.
backing, stuff
Yes.
like that. So I'll see something and I'm like, I think I can make this. And the thought process start going. How do I start making this? How can I get this to go? I wish I could just, you know, pull up the AutoCAD or whatever it is they use for printing, just hit the button and print the thing out. But I
Right.
kind of like the
Right.
challenge.
No, for sure, for sure. I mean, I feel like so my brother Stevie Z has even said that he's even after like just like 6 months, he's even able to slightly design a few things that, I think he mostly gets stuff and then alters it, but I know he's had success with it too. But yeah, dude, I only because I was so convinced that I was never going to be able to do anything like that. So convinced this way. And then when I got it and found out that I was able to do it so easily, anytime I get somebody in this conversation, I try as hard as I can to stress to them that it's nothing like you think. Like Matt from Mo's Mind points out, he says, you pick the harder of the two and it's still easy. So many are basically plug and print. So yeah, the resin is a little more involved. But if you get just a regular filament shit that most people use, bro, you turn it on, you connect the thing. Here's the ST. There's no liquids. There's you get a spool of stuff. That is even easier. Which I'm going to be honest with you, I think somewhere down the line, I'm going to wind up getting a bigger one that does some filament, so I can do bigger things like tables or even small like windows. That's something that I've been looking at a lot lately. So even if it doesn't have that's why that plastic thing was so interesting to me, because I saw that somebody had printed out it's a window, right? It's one side. But if you made them a little bit thinner and printed two, and then put the plastic between the two of them like that, and then slice the plastic around the edge, you would have an actual window with a window in it. Take the two and sandwich the plastic in between, and now you have a frame with the plastic in there, and that's super fucking easy. So yeah, dude, that plastic, that thing that you pointed out is also a great deal.
Yeah, if there was a way I could go to a 3D printer and be like, hey man, show me how you do this, just so I had a grasp concept of it, I would probably be more apt to do it, but I don't know anybody around, that
so that's that dude CG was that for me in a sense that like those first 2 days I had him on speed dial, and my dude was gracious enough with his time to I mean, and this is a guy that is an IT guy, and homeboy had to walk me through stuff. So it must have been like me being a contractor. It would be like me trying to show somebody how to hammer a nail in. Like, this is very simple. Don't bash your hand in. Matt from Mo's Mind says that he's in Raleigh and he is a master printer.
40 minutes then.
No shit. Well, guess what, boys? I will make that connection, because listen, this has been great. Matt, I've known for what is close to, I don't know, maybe a year, I think, when I first reached out, and he's been nothing but great. So if he can make this and he's offering help, I'm sure he could set you on a journey. And brother, with help like that. You will be doing shit in no time. Really can't stress enough how much, like, however hard you think it is not going to be anything like that. I'm so glad that CG convinced me of that too, because I was telling him, he's like, can't you build a house? I was like, yeah, but dude, I can't use a computer. He's like, it's not that hard. He's like, I think maybe what I was originally kind of thinking too was that I had to model the stuff. So when he explained it, like I had to make it, he basically was like, no, you just pay a couple dollars or whatever, depending on the size of the file, that, somebody else does it up for you. And then you print it out and put the stuff together. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds a little easier. And then, I watched, so I have the Lego Mars 5. And when I went on Amazon, they had a video that you like in the actual Amazon listing. Boop, it plays it. It shows you what you pour the liquid in. It does this, and that's why that one in particular was so good, because it takes away all of the bullshit of leveling that plate
and leveling the thing on top. All you have to do is when you sit your machine down, you first turn it on, it does all that. And if the machine itself isn't level, it will say you have to adjust it, because it, like that print table, say if your machine is leaning like this, the print table will just turn itself and level it. But if it's too far, obviously it goes too far. But yeah, man, that a Lego right there. Like I said, I think I got that and a bunch of supplies, including the resin liquid, and it was less than $400 delivered to my front door. So fucking awesome. Yeah, definitely, especially with the like what you make yourself already is amazing. But if you had something like even just the exact one I had that was able to just print you out, like you're saying, a bunch of these things where you can, like, you spend $3. Oh, here's a, like the last one I bought, and I'm waiting to, the first thing I'm going to print when I go back to it is I bought, it was $3 and it came with, I think, 8 different metallic, like, electrical boxes. So like a true breaker box, a small little like sub panel box, a couple ones that you would see like outside of a doorway or something like that. And dude, you print those up, you slap those on a wall, and all this, I put a little paint on them shits. Forget about it, bro. It'd be taking, yeah, it'd be taking your already awesome shit right over the top. So definitely, I think that'd be a huge help to your game, and again, so much easier than you think it's probably gonna be. So fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, dude, I think that's it. I think we're gonna wrap up. I said that like 15 minutes ago, which is normal. I do this even when nobody else is on. I'll be like, oh, okay, it's getting late, we'll wrap up, and then like an hour will go by because I just started blabbing about something else. But yeah, dude, I've got the storm coming tomorrow, and I did want to try to get up early enough so I could shoot. I have jobs going on in 3 different buildings, but the one that I'm trying to wrap up and get out of, it would really be cool if I shot down there before the storm happened and grabbed a bunch of my tools and finally got them the fuck out of there and shit. So I'm gonna try to get my ass into bed. Plus, like when I finish the podcast Wicked, so I was originally doing it at 9, and then I was keeping all of my old ass friends here up till 1 o'clock in the morning, and that's just too late. I'm too old for that shit. But so like now, by the time I go upstairs, I get something to eat and I climb into bed. I'm still so amped up from this, right? Because we're going back and forth, your brain's going like crazy, that there's sometimes where I don't fucking fall asleep till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And again, I'm just too old for that shit. I don't sleep enough during the week that I can then also stay up like that on the weekends. It's brutal. Galel says, all right, everyone, if you are in the snow zone, stay safe and stay warm. Have a great night on the rest of the weekend. Yeah, you too, brother. We'll see you out there. Ancient Aliens. Matt from Mo's Mind says that it's he watches Ancient Aliens to pass out at night. We talked about that last week. I agree. I love that show.
Funny. I don't sleep, so plus I get to sleep until 9 since I'm retired. I wake up 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't give a shit anymore.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, listen, you earn that though. You know what I mean? You've earned that right, and I'm glad that you put your life on the line for a while. The man should be able to sleep into whenever the hell he wants. So I think that's
listened
awesome.
to my grandfather is what it was. He actually doubted me. He's like, you ain't gonna last in the military, and I was like, you know what? I will. So it kind of always ran in the back of my head, and I just turned it into something.
Well, sometimes that's all it takes. It's motivation can come in many forms, and there is something to be said. Listen, I don't like being told what to do, and I also don't like being told that I can't do something. Those are two big motivating factors. Like working for myself, some of the motivation for that comes from, dude, I don't like being at the same place at the same time all week. Like I feel fucking like verklempt. It literally, I feel locked in on that. And so, not that I still work as much as I can, but like, I can go and be on site for 6 hours and get, 9 hours of work done still. I don't need to be in these people's houses, the entire day. I come after they've left for work. I leave before they come home from work. And that way I'm still getting everything done. I'm home to help out around the house. I'm there to see my kids as much as I can. I'm really blessed to, so when I do do my work, I make sure that I do an excellent job. I charge much less than everybody else, and that way I can continue to have this kind of lifestyle that's really been, that it affords me. Now, do I have to do things like on a weekend, like tomorrow, like, oh, I should probably go over there for just a little while to knock out a little something? Yeah, but still, I'd rather do that than again have to be somewhere from 8 to 5 or something every day, which that's what was happening up until recently. Again, I started doing some consulting, like in real private contractor, doing some consulting for a big ass plumbing company, and it went from what was supposed to be like a little bit of time to like all of my time. And so I just like we got to a point where, there was a lot of things happening with the company. They got private equity firm came in and everything was changing anyway. And I'm sure the amount of money that they were overpaying this consultant, it wasn't going to last long anyway. So I was like, you know what? I just want to make this change and go back to working for myself again finally. And so I've been very lucky with that. But yeah, dude, that's on a day like tomorrow, if I didn't have to do anything, I would probably be trying to stay in bed till about 8:39. And I can get that on a weekend, because what my daughters will do is they will be able to sit there and have the TV to themselves for as long as they want. Like, I don't let them have they don't have technology, but they will have run of that television for a while. And my wife, if I'm not waking her up to get moving in the house, she'd be more than happy to stay in there.
Same for us. My wife and I argue, like, who's getting up with the kid? And I'm like, he's watching TV. He's good.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He's got that TV. He ain't going to go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nice. All right, brother. Well, dude, it was a blast, like I knew it was going to be. I definitely appreciate you coming on. Listen, like I said, I've always from the first thing when I think it was on Figure, we were both on Figure Fight Club, and you were showing off that Hawk's Nest. I was like, wow, these are my people right here. Absolutely. Big dios for life. I think it's fantastic. But it was awesome to be able to see all of the stuff that you've got, that you've been working on. Dude, your customs are amazing. The vehicles with the lights are totally off the charts, bro. I really, really love it. The custom figures were great, and a lot of, and not just great work, but like, again, with the Zartan, where you had the added head cannon that I thought was awesome to it, right? Like, this is what he looks like underneath all the masks and all that. I just think that shit is phenomenal. It's one of the greatest parts of, this whole G.I. Joe thing, is that everybody has a slightly different idea, but it's not like nobody's right. We just appreciate and are inspired by other people's things. And so you had said something. World. Yeah, for sure. You had said something in the middle that kind of struck a chord. So like, this whole thing that I do over on Twitter with this awesome crew of people is my aim is to be encouraging, supportive, inspire people to put themselves out there, take some photos, build the dio, buy the figure. Let's just, we all seem to be better. Like, I've had people message me about their interactions with the community, how it's like changed their life for the better, that there's this positive thing that we're all involved in. And it's just been a really good thing. And a lot of that, like I said, is the being positive, encouraging, and inspiring. And kind of what you had said in there when you were talking about making your customs is that you hope to get other people to do it, where you're like, listen, I'm not like an artist. You know what I mean? It's like I picked up the brush, I started putting some paint on, or I put the dio together, I built the thing, and I love that. Which is, why I was also trying to get you about the 3D printing. It's the same thing. Promise you buy that 3D printer, you'll be good. But dude, I thought that was just, was very thoughtful, and really in line with, like I said, that nice little community theme of, getting other people to do it. And plus you're, like, I think I saw today where you're like, how did I do it? You take a little time to explain the things, right? Which also further inspires people to do it, because sometimes even just saying like, oh, I took this, I moved it here, or I did this and I did that. It's just something that it gives somebody just enough instruction to say, oh, okay, let me pick this up and start to do it, right? Just something to get them over that hump and get them out there to do it. So I'm super impressed with all that you do, but even furthermore, you seem like a really great guy, and I love that. You're trying to encourage other people and inspire other people, and all that lines up with our community. So it's really fucking awesome.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Had a
Yeah,
good
of
time.
course.
I enjoyed it.
Oh,
Really
good,
did.
good. I'm glad you had a good time. One of the most common things that guests wind up saying, and I'm never more flattered, is when they say, "I can't believe that was like now. I can't believe that was almost 4 hours. That went by like super quick." So I remember Matt from Mine said that to me, and I was like, "Oh, good. I thought I just had you handcuffed him, and you didn't want to, and you wouldn't go away. I thought that's what it was." He was like, "No, man, it was great." So good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It makes me happy. And like I said, somewhere down the line, we'll definitely have to circle back and have you come on where we could talk about when any of these projects that you got going on, you want to stop by, you want to talk about it. Definitely, I'd be more than happy to have you through. So yeah, brother, that was awesome. Thank you to the chat. I've always tell people that half the show, if not more, happens in the comments. You guys are the absolute best. So a lot of different people come through. And this show happens because of you guys right off the rip. I've always had about a solid dozen or so people that stay for the whole thing. And I think that I can't thank you guys enough. This little thing that I do every weekend, I do it for hours like this every weekend because I love it. I love getting to meet new people, talking to them about the pet shit, this shared passion that we have. People in the comments get to jump in with how they like it. And the way that I look at these Saturday night things is it's all of us hanging out, right? We're not going to go out to a bar, but we can all sit here and chat like we're at a bar about GI Joes and shit. And I think that's pretty awesome. And so you fit right in with that, my brother. I will be tuning in. So you have your scheduled shows every week is Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night at 9. It's called The Rough Cut. It started on somebody else's channel with Turk Murphy, and then Turk and I we took it back. Not took it back, but we took it, and we're running with it from there. So with the original guy's blessing. So we just wanted to keep it going. We're raw. We start on sometimes on time. We're not great with camera. I'm not great with StreamYard. It's more of just two guys bullshitting how to customize, and we bounce ideas off each other and try to get ideas from the chat. So
Well, so here's the thing. The reason I wanted to say that again, too, is because it sounded, when we talked about it a little while ago, dude, this is very much what's happening here. So we're just kind of hanging out, doing the same thing. I think my crew would like it a lot. I tuned in last night. At the end, I was falling asleep because I was trying to read the comics and listen, and I kept falling. I did actually fall asleep for a while. I woke up and you guys were just wrapping up at like 12:30, I think. And I was like, oh my God, did I fall asleep for like a while? I couldn't believe it. But no, dude. So what I liked about it was that, and it was not this like strict to a script show. Like you said, it was just a couple guys hanging out. You had a basic thing that you were kind of working on. You have a core thing that the show just kind of dances around, right? I mean, and that's what it is. It's the same thing tonight. Like we have with the topics were basically your channel, GI Joe, and then getting to know each other. We just did that little dance, and so that's what I felt it was. That's what I liked about it. Was that you guys were just kind of a lot of off the cuff, but you guys are also you guys do well together. And it's cool. And that dude is cool. I think whenever I stop by the Tuesday nights at Figure Fight Club, I think that dude is there. The other night he was actually very pivotal on this Tuesday. I was trying to talk about a bunch of different figures and they were all like way over there or way over there. And on those Tuesdays, you get a window when they put you up. So I didn't want to walk away, multiple times. But every time I brought up a figure and I didn't have it to make the example, the homeboy was like, yo, I got it right here. Oh, wait, hold on. I got that one too. Yep, I got this one. So he really came through in the clutch for me when I was trying to explain a few things. So yeah, that dude is cool. The show is great. So that Friday nights can't miss out on that. That'll be something that like Friday nights when I come down into the studio, it's definitely something that I'm going to have on, which I think is great. It's just, like you said, it's a good hang. Having it over here in the corner, or like last night, I had the phone up on the thing in my bed as I was reading. And it just kind of felt like if I was sitting on my couch reading this comic book and you guys were doing it right there, it was just like we were all hanging out. So very good.
The best thing about it is too is replay, man. I watch a lot of stuff on Replay Squad. And, life gets busy. We can't watch everybody's show at the same time, but it's out there in replay. I'll sit out here at night when everybody's sleeping up to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, YouTube's asleep and my house is asleep, but I'm down here and I've got something playing on Replay Squad,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Replay gang, replay squad. That's where it's at. For sure. I mean, dude, especially like when you're showing a lot of stuff and everything like that. Like I remember this morning there was, when I first woke up, there was definitely one or two things that I thought I remember seeing when I was watching it. So I was, the ability to go back and scroll through is fucking
Yeah.
key, especially when you're showing off so much stuff, or like, describing something and how to help out with something like that. Yeah, dude, or how you did something. I think that's really awesome. So replay gang all day on that for sure. I mean, shit, almost 99% of the people that watch my show have to watch it on a replay. When you look at the views, and there's only so many people watch it once. But yeah, that is the beauty of it. And that is same thing when I'm down in the studio. I've always got that on. Or I mean, honestly, a lot of times when I'm at work, it's the perfect thing. So I can kind of focus better if there's something back here diverting a little bit of my attention, right? Just something that's happening here allows me to focus in front of me a little bit better. And that's what that is. So I mean, shit, I've been able to catch up. The only problem when I'm watching one of your videos or something is like if I'm across, my phone is set up over here, but I'm working, I have to like run, I'm like, wait, and I have to run back over and be like, oh, okay, that's what it, and I get to see it. I get to actually look at it. But no, it's absolutely perfect, dude. So yeah, I love all the content. I love the almost like the mission statement of, you don't have to be an artist or any kind of special anything. We're just all here doing the same thing. Like, me, the guys, some of the guys, we're amateur photographers. We're not anything. We just pick up our phone, take the picture, put it up there, build the dio, take the picture. Can't go wrong with it. It's an awesome way to go. So I appreciate you giving out that message and being a positive content creator out there making good stuff. I mean, there's not, the GI Joe community is pretty good, but there are a few podcasts where you can see it's just all negativity. All people are doing is, saying negative shit. And it's just like, that's not for me. If that's how you want to have a show, that's fine.
No.
I'm sure you get plenty of views and lots of subscribers and stuff, but that ain't for me. I try to live in the positive side of things. And so I appreciate you kind of doing that same, my brother. So yeah, man. Again, Friday nights, I'm sorry, did you say 9:00? Friday nights, 9:00?
Yeah, Friday night, 9:00 Eastern time.
Nice. Check it out, the rough cut, my boy. Well, thank you so much, Evil Dookie, for coming by. We'll definitely have you back on again. And to all to the people in the chats, thank you so much. And we will I will see you out there in them Twitter streets, y'all. Have a good night. Oh, and yes, like Cal said, if you are in the snow belt that's happening up here in the Northeast or are in the Midwest or something like that, just make sure you stay safe and enjoy the rest of that weekend, y'all. All right, everybody have a good one. Later.
Later.